Then on the strand, with steeds and treasure, and armor their roomy and ring-dight ship was heavily laden. High its mast rose over Hrothgar's hoarded gems. A sword to the boat guard Beowulf gave, mounted with gold. On the mead bench, since he was better esteemed, that blade possessing heirloom old. Their ocean keel boarding, they drove through the deep, and Daneland left. A sea-cloth was set, a sail with ropes firm to the mast, the flood timbers moaned. Nor did wind over billows that wave swimmer blow across from her course. The craft sped on, foam-necked it floated forth o'er the waves, keel firm-bound over briny currents, till they got them sight of the Geatish cliffs, home-known headlands. High the boat, stirred by winds, on the strand updrove. Helpful at haven the harbour guard stood, who long already for loved companions by the water had waited and watched afar. I love that last note in particular. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, Arvanauts. Welcome, everybody. As I put things back up, I want to make sure we were revealing all of the cool stuff. Welcome, everybody, to a Tuesday. Welcome to July. It is July 1st. We have arrived at the second full month of summer. Very happy to be able to have all of you lovely folks here. And welcome to day 19 of Beowulf Age of Heroes. This is the finale of, one way or the other, it is the finale of The Witches and the Wyrm, starring the amazing and awesome TariToons, as Tari Tuesdays get back started again. But before we go any further, just a couple of reminders about ways to support the channel. If you have not done so already, please follow the channel. If you have not done so already, please check out our YouTube with !ArvTube. And thank you again to everyone who has been subscribing over there and has been following us and watching us over there. We appreciate that very much. Please do spread the word about it. And please, if you haven't done so, consider subscribing there. It's free for you to do that, but it really helps us out. We are at a record number of subscribers on our YouTube channel, and every new subscriber is a new record. And so please do that because it helps us out and gives you that advance access to some of this content. So would love to be able to continue to build that YouTube channel up. Our Discord, we can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. That is always hopping. That is !ArvCord. So you can hang out with us over there. Twitter is !ArvTweets until the final collapse of that hell site. Blue Sky is !ArvSky, and that is where I'm sending people. Again, we've had another big surge in followers over there. I think I am now up to 931, and the reason that matters is that I am now less than 70 followers away. Once I get to 1,000 followers on Blue Sky, I'm going to lock down Twitter and I will no longer be using it. And at that point, it'll just be Blue Sky as the microblogging form, and then obviously Twitch and YouTube and all that kind of good stuff. But as far as the typical, hey, what's going on a daily basis, social media, it'll be Blue Sky. So definitely head over and follow me over there, !ArvSky for that. Website for this, arvaneleron.com. And let me also point everybody to Gen GMs. We just had a long video that dropped. The first long video did not have the full length video. We accidentally uploaded a shorter version, but that has now been corrected. So if you go over there, you'll be able to see what I believe is episode 15 of Gen GMs with Zach Clay and myself doing some DM and GM tips. We are up to 97 subscribers there. Once we get to 100 subscribers, that is also a big milestone for our channel there. So please do join us over on Gen GMs. That would be lovely. And again, website for this, arvaneleron.com. Financially, !ArvTube Point Arv Shop is our merchandise area where you can get t-shirts and mouse pads and hats and all those kinds of things, and bandanas focusing on the channel. And we've got a lot of different stuff there and more stuff to come, so please do that. Cool swag for you and stuff to support the channel. The Patreon is _ArvTreon. You can see that right there sitting at $77 a month. We're trying to build that back into triple digits, so please do join us over there. That would be lovely. Again, you can get stuff that's unique to the Patreon if you were able to support us over there. That'll get you unique stuff and also support us as well. And of course, subbing to the channel is always appreciated too. You get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. And of course, you get inspirations to help our tabletop players. You can get that from the Patreon as well. I have reset the inspirations for this month, so we are set to go. I have also redone the calendar, by the way. I've set the calendar for July 1st. I have not done the Patreon video yet. I'm going to try to do that tonight, but otherwise, I have gotten most of my stuff together for July, which is cool because it's going to be a busy month, especially once we get to about mid-month or so. So please, again, support us by supporting the Patreon and by subbing to the channel. On the publishing front, !Icarus, that's my graphic novel from Mathis Arts. !Library is my Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. !Greyshade, that is my Greyshade IP. Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic are the books available from Mathis Arts. Personal note about that, by the way, I just got my royalty statement, and I have been told by Athos that all 3 of the Grey Assassin Trilogy books have now earned out their advance, which means I am now earning royalties on all of those, and obviously I am extremely grateful about that. It is a great moment as an author, to have your books earn out, and I have had multiple books of mine now earn out: Icarus, and then all 3, Greyshade, Renegade, Heretic, and also Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library is earned out as well. So that's great, and I hope to keep that trend up because earning out is a good thing for an author. So thank you to everyone who bought one of those 3 books, and if you would like to know what all the fuss is, please check out that link. You can get all of those books. You can get the audiobook of Greyshade from our very own Trent Sparks. And as a reminder, Renegade and Heretic will be coming out. The audiobooks of those will be coming out later this year in the fall with our very own Trent Sparks narrating again. So you can definitely check those out and pre-order them. And you can also pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade. We are now only about 5 weeks out. Actually, probably closer to 4 weeks out. Let me confirm. Hold on a second. So we got this 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we are about exactly a little bit over a month, I would say, out before the official release of Greyshade, which is very exciting. It's going to be released to the general public, available to the general public for sale at Gen Con, which will be starting on Thursday, the 31st of July. So we're a little bit, just about pretty much exactly a month away. And so I'm very excited for that because the tabletop role-playing game that Brandon has put together, Brandon O'Brien, is amazing, and I'm super excited for it. So you will definitely want to check out that. And if you haven't done so already, if you're going to Gen Con on Friday, the 1st of August, that is when we are going to have our official release of Greyshade, the sort of big premiere of Greyshade as a live action event. So you're going to have a chance to see more of how this game actually runs, and I'm super excited about it. I will not be DMing that. I'll be playing in it with Brandon O'Brien GMing it, so it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And so, yeah, you can pre-order that game right now at that !Greyshade link as well. And as always, !BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. !Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And !Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And we send the message we'll do so for others in that situation in the future. Quick note on schedule. I've got this going on now, and then at 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be over at GOG Comms Twitch channel. I know, right, Imaginary? I know. We'll get as mods come in and more people gather, we will get that stuff going. But good to see you, Imaginary. !Point. Oh, no, I already said that. Never mind. I'm good with all that. So I will be over on GOG.com at 4 p.m. Eastern with Pen and Pixels, playing Expeditions Rome. And then I will be back on Thursday with more playing of Blue Prince. After our session today, after I let Tari go, I will spend a few minutes going over July's schedule. It looks pretty good. It looks like we're going to have a very good schedule. We will get all of our classic tabletop role-playing games in. And in fact, we'll even be able to get in a D&D with viewers session in this month, which I think is great. And that's going to be important because about middle of the month, I'm going to be going to ReaderCon in Boston. I will have a Burlington, actually, but right outside of Boston. I will have a number of panels that I'll be on and a reading. I'm very excited about that. Then I'm going to be going to Gen Con, the Writers Symposium. I have a number of panels. I have a coffee clutch. I have a reading. I have a signing and also have a workshop and a read and critique and the Gray Shade event in addition to panels. So I'm going to be a busy bee at Gen Con. And then at Worldcon, I'm going to have a busy schedule as well with about 4 panels and a reading. So there's a lot of stuff going on, basically from, I would say, the end of July, basically all the way through to the end of August. And then, of course, the new semester, September starts, and we'll have the new semester fall going on. So we got a lot going on there, and I'm excited for all of it. But we will talk about that in terms of the actual schedule later. Right now, I'm going to unmute myself so that Tari knows we are ready to go. And then I'm going to unmute her. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over to reveal to you that Tari has arrived despite heat, despite brutal, difficult conditions, despite, just despite, out of spite. Despite everything, full of spite. Tari is with us, and we are ready to go with a battle against a big serpent, as we'll talk about in just a minute. How about a game at Worldcon? Well, I've thought about the possibilities, Triffid, and we had one possibility arranged originally, but then there was this thing about a immigration thing that happened where a lot of the folks I thought I was going to play with have decided not to come to the U.S., for which I cannot blame them. So that basically put paid to that. I am still thinking about options, though, and I do know that my good friend Brandon O'Brien will be there along with a number of other folks, so we will see. It was fun, I should say. I'm sorry, Tari, I just responded to Trivia quickly. It was fun this last weekend. I was up, as I said, in Saratoga at the Jazz Festival, which was really good, by the way. If you get a chance, anyone, to ever hear music played by a guy named Trombone Shorty and his Orleans band, he's originally from New Orleans, that guy is super legit. He was really, really good, and it was a really enjoyable festival day, and we got to hang out in Saratoga the day before and walk around and get all this stuff. I got this new hat. I don't know if it shows up, but it's my favorite brand of hat, which is called Kangol, and it's a blue hat, which is matches my blue shirt that says, "What doesn't kill you gives you XP," which I thought would be useful for Tari. This is inspirational for Tari today. But I was up there, so it was a great time. And why was I mentioning about this? There was some reason that I was bringing up this whole business. I went up to Saratoga. Oh, I know why. This is why. Because I went in the bookstore up there called Northshire, which is their independent bookstore up there. And I went to, of course, the fantasy and science fiction section. Also went to the gaming section. Took a look-see quickly through the graphic novel section. These are all, as God intended. This is the way you're supposed to go to bookstores. But when I was there, I managed to catch pictures of a lot of friends of mine and or acquaintances / people I will be on panels with. So I saw books from Premi Muhammad, who has been on this channel. I saw Amal Al-Matar, of course Tari knows very well, called The River Has Roots. That's her latest book, which has gotten lots of cred. I got a picture of Martha Wells' Murderbot Diaries, who everybody ought to know at this point, and so on and so on. So I managed to do that, and it was great, and I reposted them. Just as a quick note, every author loves seeing their book in the wild. So posting all that stuff out there was pretty awesome, to be able to get the reaction from people being like, ooh, everybody knows that their books are out there, but it's cool to see it in these different places. So anyway, it was a very good time. So yeah, I was showing off some books, and that's basically all I had to say about that. So anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. Much love to all of you. And Tari, it's good to see you. So you are here without melting. That is good. How are you surviving in the slightly cooler area that you are now, and who are you playing today?
Barely.
Barely.
Barely. For reference, today is 37 degrees Celsius outside, which I assume is like something like 105 or so in Fahrenheit, probably. So yeah, it is so hot that I can't actually be upstairs where my PC is. So I yoinked my boyfriend's laptop, and I'm sitting in the living room slash dining room right now, downstairs. It's like easily 10 degrees cooler down here compared to upstairs, which helps. Still too warm, but I'll live maybe. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll live encountering this giant snake, but we'll see. I suppose. Maybe.
you've made some plans, so that's the thing.
Mm,
It's more like a furnace. Yeah,
yes,
no
because
kidding.
my
Imaginary.
my plans always work out just fine
Yeah,
in these games.
no
Yeah.
deviation from your plans. Really, they always go just
Mm.
right. Right according
Well,
to.
to be fair, usually if they work, it's because the DM in question will allow it because plan sounds really cool and fun, like rule of cool ruling, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, this kicks ass. I'll allow it. But besides that, my plans usually go wrong. So, uh, this is fine. Fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Speaking of who are you playing that's engaged in these plans today?
Somebody who doesn't have to deal with this horrible summer heat.
Mm, that's true.
I'm playing Genovefa Xanten, who is a former follower and has relatively recently, um, yeah, taken up the big hat of the crew, and is now leading her merry band of misfits. See, my tongue is out, but I can't speak. Merry band of misfits. Difficult collection of words. Um, to this yeah, weird shore where she literally met God and now has to kill a giant snake or somehow else deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Or
so
the world will
yeah,
be consumed. It's fine.
yeah, that's
Like.
fine. I hope this is like a bit running on Discworld logic because we have to save the Hogfather or otherwise the sun won't rise.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
and yeah, no, yeah, the sun wouldn't rise. Just a burning orb of hot gas would show up on the horizon the next morning.
Yep. I was reading something that was talking about the idea that that we just casually take for granted that a nuclear engine of enormous ridiculous size and power which can burn us from however many hundreds however many miles away, right, in the galaxy, and we're like, oh yeah, that's what keeps life alive, is the existence of
I
that.
don't think we are taking this for granted. I mean, like in modern days, yes, but like back in like in many cultures that still keep their old religions around and like
True.
pre-Christian religions, like
That's true.
yeah, it's usually some kind of sun god going around.
That's true.
So to the point where cheeky little so-called historians like to claim, oh yeah, Emperor Constantine totally was Christian, even though we know for a fact that he worshipped Sol Invictus, who was not the Christian god,
Mm-hmm.
despite various overlap. Oh no, he totally got baptized on his
Yep.
deathbed. And
Holy Roman Emperor. Holy Roman.
no, the Holy Roman Emperor came later. The different entity.
Who did you just say?
Different. Hmm?
Who did you just say before?
Constantine.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Who did you think I was referring to?
No, I was thinking of it. Long story. I heard.
Or you thinking of Barbarossa?
I was thinking.
That guy
I was
got
thinking
baptized.
later on. That was a whole different scenario. I actually am
like
reading.
I don't know, like a few hundred years later.
Mm-hmm.
Different guy.
I am reading a very a book that I'm enjoying a lot, which I recommend to everybody. Although I will warn everyone, it is very long, as in 700 pages long. But it is a work by Ada Palmer called Inventing the Renaissance. And I got the idea, I had thought about it anyway, and then I saw a review from the amazing Prince Justin who talked about how great it was, and I was like, all right, this is I've already had a really good reading summer. I read Dead Gin in Cairo, it was awesome. I read Claire Cooney's St. Death's Herald, it was awesome. I just finished reading Kish Johnson's Riverbank, the sequel, the unofficial sequel to The Wind of the Willows, excellent. So I've already had a good reading summer, and I'm like, all right, time to get some history in. And it's great because it basically, a lot of this stuff I know, but it is stuff that it's essentially talking about the myth of the Renaissance and how the Renaissance itself was established at the time as a kind of mythology about a certain golden age. It's
I
just
mean, that's why it's called the Renaissance, because they were trying to recapture
exactly
the good old days of
exactly,
the
and how everybody does that,
Greek
right?
arts and
Right.
Ancient Greek arts and philosophy and blah blah.
And one of the points that gets made is about how redoing every age, right? How we're always like, it's the new Renaissance, it's the new Enlightenment, it's the new, while simultaneously saying the areas that you don't like, it's a new Dark Ages, it's a new Middle Ages, right? Like it's yeah. It's a very interesting thing about how humans put together their genres and their eras of history, depending on what they need. So anyway, highly recommend. Good stuff.
I can't say I've been reading stuff that's that intellectual. Just now I've been reading Dutch Donald Duck comics. So,
also high quality, clearly different sort of intellectual bent.
About the city of Den Bosch. So for most people who are listening, you're probably unaware that the Netherlands has their own entire Donald Duck comic industry.
I just found this out today, by the way, about 20 minutes ago.
Duck comics that are not really published anywhere else. So like they get a bit wild with like a lot of the stories just take place in real towns and regions that are in the Netherlands, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And this one issue is about the city of Den Bosch, which is where Hieronymus Bosch is from, which might mean the name might mean something to some people.
Yeah. Are there any
artists,
I was about to say, are there any like warped things on the cover then, like weird, strange
different
artists? Hieronymus Bosch, the Garden of Earthly Delights, right? And all of that.
Yeah, but it's like not the warped things. That's like he's the guy who made all the little funky little monster guys and demon guys.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I didn't mean warped as in like melting clocks. I meant that it was like, it's like yeah. So
that guy is from that city.
I was thinking demon ducks, I guess is what I was thinking.
Ducks.
Like,
Yeah, they occasionally have those too in Donald Duck.
But anyway, but it is good to have you there. No, it is not called the Renaissance because it tried to restore Nissans, albeit, although listen, that would certainly be a noble goal. But it's good to see everybody, and let's talk about what happened in our last session before we get this snake battle underway. Let me turn on a little bit of music here. Let's talk about what happened in our last session. So, in our last session, the Witches in the Wyrm has involved Genevieve and her followers attempting to find a way to escape an area to which they have been driven by this mysterious fog that basically locked in the travel route behind them and sort of drove them onto the land. And what they discovered when they got there were these three witches who, as Tari has pointed out, Genevieve essentially views as gods, that have explained to her what it is that has brought her here, and in fact, all of them. Hold on, super loud. All of a sudden, it's blasting wind in my ears. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Better. It is the fact that an adder, a giant serpent, in fact, a almost perhaps world-consuming serpent, has been wandering the land, to incredibly oversimplify, because it doesn't want to go to bed. I think anyone who has a toddler of a certain age, or indeed even a 9-year-old of a certain age, will know exactly what it means when certain children don't want to go to bed. The problem is this one is a massive serpent, and when it doesn't want to go to bed, not only is it putting everyone else at risk, it's putting the question of time itself at risk. And so the witches set 3 basic quests on Genevieve to try to find things that would show, allegedly, whether she was worthy to take on the serpent, but which also, low-key, allowed her to get some things that would help in the battle against the serpent. The first that she did was to recover this bauble from a dwarf called Full Anger, who had stolen it from the youngest of the witches, whose name I believe is Megden. And she, as I'm pulling it, I want to make sure that I get all the names right. Right, because it was not Modor. Yeah, it was Megden. I was right.
It's Megden, Modor, and Widway.
And Widway, yeah. So she was able to recover this bauble, and it was a good thing she did because this bauble is going to have a powerful effect on this boss fight that's about to happen, as we'll discuss. So that was the first thing she did. Then she was sent on a quest by Modor to try to resolve a conflict between a farmer and an elf, which had basically felt like the farmer was misusing his land and had taken down some sacred pillars of stones and done all this thing that was very bad. And so had cursed the land, and the farmer was basically going to be driven for both himself and his family into starvation out of his own stubbornness. But Genevieve was able to solve that problem, in the process rescuing an old man from a massive boar that had consumed him. Long story. And in the end was able to restore...
What's the boar?
Well, the boar... No, not exactly, because remember... It's when after he was vomited up, the boar's skin remained, right? So he didn't, right?
Yes. How I understood it was that he was turned into the boar, and to turn back into a human, the boar had to spit him out.
And then exists as a thing.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean that's basically right. But it's not that it was not. I guess my point is he wasn't a wereboar. Maybe that's the way to describe it.
Because were aware of it.
You're aware of the boar. I see what you did there. And that boar actually might provide some quality food for the farm, in fact, and the farmers. And so Modor, as a consequence of this, was able to give Genevieve exact instructions as to where the lair of the serpent was, which was important because it meant that Genevieve got there ahead of the serpent and now was able to sort of set up a plan, which we will discuss in a minute. You might see those green lines and red X's on your screen, chat. That's a sort of the plan that Genevieve put together, which we'll talk about in a moment. And then last... Yeah, it's going to work. It's going to totally work. And then we had Widway, who is basically the old... Oh, and I just realized I have the sisters right there. There we go. Widway, who is the hunched-over woman, not to be mistaken with Rick Mod, the hunched-over woman that you see there on the left. Widway had a very simple quest for Genevieve, and that is that this bandit known as the Wolfhead had tricked Widway into giving her spear to him. And this spear would have been a powerful weapon against the serpent. Well, Genevieve was able to track the bandit into this trackless marsh, but unfortunately was unable to stand up against the bandit and was eventually laid low despite a valiant fight and multiple attempts and all that. Woodbay was very disappointed, and Genevieve did not get the spear from the serpent, but did have the bauble from Megden, and did have the pathway, the direct location from Modor. And with that information went to this essentially massive burial mound of sorts, I guess you would say, underneath the earth where this serpent has broken its way in. And so that leads us to where we are right now, because in our last session when Genevieve got there, Genevieve basically scouted out the interior of the area. And discovered a few things that were going to be important about this. The first is that there were a series of these niches with skulls and treasure and animal horns bound with coarse twine and all that kind of stuff down below. So there was that. Some of the passageways were large enough for a monstrous snake to pass through. In fact, there was evidence of its passing. Huge scales could be found and seemed worn smooth by something. But there were some side tunnels which seemed smaller with low entrances, which is where essentially Genevieve's plan, which we'll talk about in a second, may come into play. She also set a watch for one of her followers to watch for the serpent to return as she went around and made her decision about how she was going to set things up. And so that brings us here to right now, and I want to bring everyone's attention to this thing, which I'm going to pull across here. I'm going to remove the followers for just a moment.
That's right.
Yes, and that is this sun tracker. So, the way that the sun tracker works, as basically we understand it here, is that the hero has essentially 7 rounds, but there's a caveat to that, which I'll explain, to slay the adder before it regains its regenerative powers. So basically, it has 7 rounds to slay it before sundown comes and before the adder gains its power back and then wanders the night, being just as dangerous as it was during the day. However, there's a but to this, and that is that remember that there was that bauble that I mentioned that she rescued for Megden. Megden gave her that bauble, and what it essentially does is it brings the sun to the interior of the barrow. So what it does is reset that sun tracker. So the total number of rounds, basically, that she has to finish off this thing is 14 before sundown hits. And that's going to be important because otherwise, the thing will come forward and they won't be able to do anything about it. So she is going to have to figure out a way to be able to stop this snake permanently, in some ways, theoretically, by slaying it. How to slay it, though, especially without the spear, is another question. And so Genevieve has come up with a cunning plan. Tari, do you want to go over Genevieve's cunning plan as we look at this map?
We lured this thing through the narrow tunnels and throw some rocks on it. That's too perfect.
That's basically it, yes. It's a very involved, sophisticated plan that involves luring it through tunnels and throwing rocks on its head.
For context, we are like in an old burial mound, right? And everything here looks like it's going to collapse any second. So the idea is to use the environment to our advantage to topple over a bunch of these walls that look like they can be easily toppled over to bury this serpent, pin it in place, and then we can just attack it from the sides or from behind or whatever, where it can't bite us or hit us or whatever.
Right. And just at the very end of our session, I'm trying to center the map so we can see most of the map there. I think that's pretty good. Right at the end of our last session, Yasib, who was the person that I think you had that was on watch, might have been Mundir. Well, I'm not sure if it was Yasib or if it was Mundir.
No, what is the Mundir, I think?
Maybe it's Mundir. I think you're right, actually. Yeah. But you are planning on using Yasib as bait, I think, to sort of draw the serpent after it, if I'm not mistaken. And so Mundir declared that it was on its way, had never seen anything so large or able to move that quickly. And the last thing that we heard towards the very end of the session was something that sounded like sss, which, to be clear, was not the hissing of a soccer ball losing air, but in fact was something far more dangerous and deadly. So, I do want to know why. Oh, that's why, because it's on the map. Why is it not showing that? Say again, what's that?
A cat making noises at another cat.
Yes, that's clearly what it is, yeah. An enormous cat that has scales and is long, and but other than that, exactly. Okay, so there we go. We got that. We got the sun tracker. All right, so now I'm going to hand things back over here to Genevieve. So you've just heard this, and according to Mundir, the creature is moving at great pace towards you. And I think probably we can put up some combat music here. There we go. As the serpent closes in from the outside. So, unclear, by the way, whether the serpent has seen Mundir. Probably not. But yeah, when your cat has scales, it's up to you to figure out where he's gotten them from. Right, exactly. That's exactly right. All right, Genevieve. So, again, you're having Yasib act as bait. I'm just double checking on this. Do you remember what entrance you want to, because so his broken in entrance is basically over here that was on the top. But there's also a broken down entrance up front, which is theoretically another place that he could enter. Did you have any particular way you wanted to lure him down? Because these are all possible ways that the serpent could go. Is there any way you would prefer him to go if you can convince him to go down that route?
So Yasib even Galib is taken here, and his thing is to get the serpent's attention lured in through this way. Then, run along the green path. And Rigmod was like stationed here-ish, I think.
I believe that's right. I
Here?
should let me see if I can lay these down. Let's see.
He was spent, right?
Guy is spent. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have Yasib, Mundir, and Rickmod are all not spent.
Yeah.
Will the serpent be unbroken? I love it. Clearly, that's a folk tale that everyone wanted. All right. Okay, hang on, because Tari is given awesome. There we go. Tokens for all of these. There we go. Lovely. All right. So we have our boy Mundir. Well, let's put Yasib first. Okay.
It's weird that you're referring to Mundir by his last name and Galib by his first name.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing that. I should say Galib and Mundir.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. Okay, so
of course, do the little silly thing from the 13th Warrior, where they just call him Even.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, son of. That's
Son
my
of.
name.
Your name is Son of. Son of? That's how he did Ibn? You know. Okay. Okay, you want him here. Sorry, you wanted Galib here, right? Up at that top?
Yes.
Okay. And then Mundir.
It's like basically on top of the thing.
Yeah. Mundir, that's actual size. Mundir, who has grown to giant size. Okay.
Oh, like I had a great conversation today on Discord. I learned today that George Washington is named after the Washington Monument because he's as tall as that monument, so he chose that name for himself.
I see. Interesting, like order of operations there. Okay, where do you want Mundir?
Yeah, he's basically outside, on the lookout. Like he's not inside the mound. He's like
Okay.
on top
Well,
of
right, but he just called down, is what I meant. So do you want him to
then
like?
he would like run in probably from the south, I guess.
Okay, so like over here.
Yeah, from the
Okay.
entrance.
All right. There's him. Okay. And then we have Rickmod. We'll go over
Yeah.
here. Okay. You really see the detail of this
Would
artwork
have
when
been
you.
smarter to put Rigmod on the lookout and have Mundir push the rock.
I'll manage her. Okay, so you want her here, or is it where I put her is fine, or?
Here.
Okay.
There. That. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I look forward to those checks. And then, let's see. And then we have, now, Guy is spent, but Guy still exists in reality. So where would you like Guy to be? Guy be, so to speak.
Eevee would be Eevee. That's
Like there-ish.
Do you know that I don't know, was a Photoshop something that somebody did of like Michael Jackson Twitter profile?
No, I don't think so.
That like pronouns hee.
Oh, that's funny. I love it. That's pretty funny. Okay. Right. So we've got this, we got this, we got this. I'm going to move this over here. Great. All right. All right. So as the serpent gets closer, Mundir is going to run in from the southern side. Where do you want, and this I'm assuming, because you had plenty of time to set this up, where did you want Mundir to run? Like up to meet you, or
where? Yeah, I guess like here-ish. Like the point is that he also attacks the serpent as soon as it is in reach.
Okay. So like there.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Right. And then this is you, I think. Yes, it is you.
Well, I mean, if he's that fast, then he can probably make it to Rickmod and just help her push the rocks.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15. If he does a full run, he probably could.
Yeah, then that would probably be it, yeah.
Okay. I've got it. Don't stop acting like... Okay. All right. And then we have Yusib, who's going to wait for this. Now, Yusib, of course, is risky, as you know. Like that
Really?
that we're taking this opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure if you were aware that this amazing plan did have potential limitations, in that there were concerns. But okay, I want to find the token for this thing as it arrives.
I'm just like imagining like SNES style. Like you know how in like Secret of Mana and Zelda and stuff, you have like certain bosses where they have like a long neck or a long tail or just the entire body is like serpentine.
Yep.
So it's like made from these separate orbs that like follow a line.
Yep.
So I'm just imagining that like with the tokens that they just like move along.
Did it just
move
cut? Yep.
forward like
Yep.
that. Oh.
All right, there we go. I have multiple options. All right, but I have found what I need.
Really love that. Graphic quirk, I guess, or the way they solved that, I suppose. I think that's a name for that specific technique of animation.
There's a and I'm even thinking like way earlier even than that, when you have the equivalent of the snake game where you're going around, you're trying to get to the tail of the other snake.
That just does a single line of pixels.
Yeah. But, like, I guess conceptually, looking at the way that it flowed, like the body flowed, was always interesting to me. There was a game for the Intellivision called Snafu, which was like that. And sort of seeing how it moved around, you're like, oh. And, I mean, obviously, this is just physics, right? If you sweep a ribbon around, it will follow in a certain pattern based upon, like, inertia and movement and all this. But it was just cool to sort of see it in that practice. So this serpent is way larger than all those things. And let's see. I'm going to put out a token.
If we manage to lure it around so that it goes back into itself, does it die?
Yeah, exactly. That it eats itself. Ah.
Yeah. That's how that works, right?
That's clearly that'll be the idea.
Doesn't eat any fruit on the way. No cherries for this guy.
It's actually what happens is it does that, and then it stops flashing yellow and it flashes red, and that's when you can hit it for 3 damage, and then you have to redo it again. This is the Dark Souls of Beowulf bosses. Okay. All right, here we go.
Bomb in here. 3 damage.
Yeah, exactly. All right. There we are.
He a big boy.
Yes, he's not quite that big, but he is awfully big. So, as he comes towards Yusib, let's see. What I need to think about is whether... so Yusib is definitely, though, just to be clear, attempting to attract his attention, right? Is like jumping up and down, like, follow me. It's working. I know it's working. That type of thing. Okay. Okay, so...
probably casting it out in Arabic.
Yeah. And actually, let me roll. Let me do a roll just to make sure that we...
Wait, is it Arabic? Arabic? How do you pronounce it?
It would be Arabic, is how you pronounce it.
Arabic.
Yeah.
Okay. Because sadly in English those things are never obvious, unlike in some other languages.
Okay. All right, there we go.
Many Arabic words. I can't even pronounce it. Arabic.
Arabic?
Arabic?
No, it's always it's erotic. Yeah, it's always the emphasis on the emphasis on the first syllable, as they say. Arabic.
Syllable. That's a good one.
Syllable. Okay, so let's see if the serpent is
Truly
being...
the epitome of good pronunciation.
I see what you did there. Very insightful of you. All right, so this thing perceives very well, and the fact that Yusib is trying to be perceived makes it easier. And so the creature, which is this, again, as you've heard it described, an enormous, sinuous beast, slithers along the ground, and as it sees Yusib, you can see, I'm technically describing what Yasib is seeing, but close enough. Yasib can see that it's, or I'm sorry, Galib, beg your pardon, can see that its eyes sort of glow with this almost reddish fire, and it drops its head as if to streamline and speed up, and then like sort of drops down into the mud and the ground and the grass, and accelerates directly towards towards Galib at incredible speed.
Let's say Yasib is fine.
I'm going to keep saying it now because I'm going to be like, it's, Okay, so he's going to jump down and around. Red eyes, angry mood, lack of sleep. Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably true. It's like, didn't have its coffee, the Starbucks was closed, there are all kinds of bad things. All right, so it gets here. All right, now the question is, so you're going to, that green line that you put is where you wanted it to follow, right? The line you wanted to follow. Now, I'm going to make sort of a, what I might describe as a devil's bargain with you, Tari. And it has to do with how far Galib is going to risk himself. Because when he gets into the mound, the creature definitely starts to follow him. But he has to balance two factors. One is that the creature may decide to go a different way because, of course, it knows this place better than Galib does, that this is its home, even though it's been stolen, but still. So to keep the creature right on its tail means that Galib has got to slow down enough, basically, that the serpent will continue to come forward after him. But if he slows down too far, then, chompy chomp with the serpent. So the little devil's bargain here I'm making for you is, do you want him to privilege his own safety, or do you want him to privilege keeping the serpent on the path that you have prescribed? Because there will be consequences.
Oh god. Yeah, the consequences, hopefully, that the serpent will die.
You see what I'm
I
asking?
wanted to stay safe. Yeah.
Okay, so you want him to stay safe, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then as he follows here, and you hear this tremendous, like, rattling and rumbling and the sound of, like, loose stones falling and things like that, as the creature descends into the depths of the burial mound. All right, well, since that's the case, it's going to make a decision. Is it going to go...
So for context, the other guys are hiding. They're not just standing.
No, I know. Hey, you! No, just kidding. I assumed as much.
What is gonna one-shot that guy?
And
That
actually...
happened in a campaign that I played once. Like the second oldest D&D campaign that I ever played. Where like the DM had like prepared like this giant hydra that we were supposed to fight at the end of a gauntlet. Then one of the NPC companions just one-shotted that guy because he kept rolling nat 20s. And he had that feat in from 3rd edition where you get to go again if you roll a critical.
Oh, like an almost exploding dice. Like you hit it and then you go again. Yeah.
So it was just, yeah.
Are you saying that they felt the need to hide from the hydra? Sorry, just felt the need. Okay. That was utterly ridiculous. Okay. So I apologize unreservedly. Not really. Okay. I would like you to make stealth checks, please. And this is basically just a flat D20 for Mundir and for Rickmod as this creature comes in.
So what did I say about the plants that
I assume that was for Rickmod, which is kind of funny, actually. Let's do Mundir.
Okay, 15.
Okay. So I am back in the day they'd chop your head for those jokes. That's very good. There were many different ways in many different heads. All right. Let's see. How is it going to do this? Okay. As the creature sort of enters here, it's slithering along the length of this thing. And I should mention that the beast is probably a good... let me give this thing here. Yeah. It is about... it's about... in combat, it uses about 15 feet by 15 feet. And so it is about 50 feet long, you think, sort of after you measure all the coiling and all that other kind of stuff. So as it comes in, it sees Rickmod. Now, there is good news here, which is that although it sees Rickmod, Rickmod is here, and this area here is probably too narrow unless it tries to smash its body through there. And since it has a more obvious target down wider passageways, it does not go after Rickmod. However, it sees Rickmod there. And that's going to be important when we talk about, what happens next. So it's going to go a little bit further like here. Galib's going to come down here. And it's going to get here. Okay. And from here is where I'm going to ask for you to roll initiative, please. And we're going to see where everybody goes. A 7, I see. All right. How about this guy? Oh, he had better than that. He's rolling great today. Okay.
Gonna regret saying this, but I think the enemies still have an inspiration. Yeah.
Yep. Does indeed. Yes, in fact, I should have set that. Yes, I have 1 inspiration point available to me. Sadly, neither you nor your followers have inspiration points. However,
have 1 according to my character sheet.
I don't have you at inspiration. I have you at 0 right now, unless you were given one.
Not from the portent. Yeah, no, from the viewers last time.
Ah, okay, from the viewers. Okay. Now, technically, that's not supposed to carry over, but I will allow you to do so.
I did ask you about that.
You did. It's fine. I will allow you because I am a kind and merciful.
Hey, like the session is almost over.
That's right. So I'll give you that 1 inspiration point. So I've added that here. That's from the viewers. Viewers' inspirations coming in clutch. Also, there are more inspirations available now. Chat, just be aware. So you can keep that in mind. That's right, because we're in July 1st. So, okay. So there's that, and then this thing is going to... Okay. It's going to move like that. Okay. All right. So the first to act, basically, in this sequence is going to be are going to be your followers. Will get to act first in this case. So the question is, where do you want them? Do you want them to stay exactly where they are, with the exception of Galib, who we'll come to? Do you want Guy is just more or less where he is? Do you want Rickmod and Mundir to stay where they are over here, sort of waiting for the possible arrival of the creature? Or do you want them to move? I imagine Rickmod would have seen that the serpent looked down and saw her, for whatever that matters, like whether that matters to Rickmod or not. So do you want them to move anywhere?
The question is, how intelligent is this thing? If it is stupid enough to fall for a glowing orb lighting up for like the sun setting, then I'm assuming it's not smart enough to be like, hey, there's like guys on the other side of that wall that's like easy to topple over. Maybe I should bury these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they would just stay. A good plan.
Because you don't know yet. Yeah, that's right. Because you really don't know for sure yet about how smart it is in a way. Like you have only seen like hints of it and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. So is it now follower turn or what's happening?
Right now it is the follower's turn, yes. So that's why I'm asking if you want them to stay, and then
No,
obviously...
these two stay, and like
What about Galib?
Galip is going to keep running the intended direction.
Okay. So these are... So double moving 5, 10, 15, 20... So Galib could get probably... I think these are 5-foot squares. Let me just make sure. I think they are 5-foot squares.
Probably would be weird if they weren't.
Yeah, they are. They're 5 feet. So, so Galib is going to run, I believe, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So if Galib were to double move, Galib could actually get, because I think Galib's speed is 30, right? Should be.
Presumably.
Presumably. So that means that Galib could get about here if you wanted Galib to go all the way there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and I will give you control of Galib. All right. You now have control of one Mr. Galib.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. All right.
Right?
So
10 field.
1, 2,
30
3,
feet.
4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8. That's right. Okay. And on that side, right? You want to be sort of down in this spot. Okay. Right. The next to move is the... Oh, and Guy is just going to stay more or less there. Guy can move. I mean, is not... Being spent doesn't mean that he can't function.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next to move is the creature. So the creature comes... Let's see. 5, 10. Slithering through.
Oh, nah, never mind.
What's up?
No more retcon.
Okay. Comes to about here. Now, Genevieve is also hiding, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, I need a stealth check from Genevieve.
I need to remember where everything is. Nah? That's a 13. Big 13.
Okay, so yes, it does not see you the way, I mean, at least you don't think so, as it slithers past. But all of you notice that when it gets to about here, it slows down, and it, I guess Gassi would be peeking around the corner, and Genevieve, you could see, like, the back. You can really, actually, from there, more or less see its body as it sort of spirals up a little bit, almost sitting up a bit on its coils. And it says, "Well, thief, I see you have come to my home. Why have you chosen to face me? I am the serpent of the day and night. Where are you? So I may show you what it is to see the end of time." So his voice like echoes through the corridor. Well, he can certainly speak. That's clear.
He's intelligent, but if he can speak, he can be spoken to.
That's
Unless
true, and it may,
yeah.
and it hasn't like started doing particle physics yet to jump out of game. It may just be that it can speak, but it's just sort of got that cunning as opposed to intelligence. You don't know yet. So yes, you could speak to it because it does not move any further or attack, although it could be holding an attack theoretically. But it's there, so you could speak to it if you wish. But obviously, by doing that, you're going to reveal your position. But you could do it and then like run because you're up next anyway, Genevieve. Or you could run to a wall and then speak. If it seems like there's enough echoing around here that it may not be 100% easy to see what or to hear what a sound is coming from, maybe.
Right. Okay. So Genevieve did not expect this thing to be intelligent to the level that it can talk, which changes everything. So she would actually just straight up come out of her hiding spot.
Okay.
Hands raised. And go, I'm sorry, I did not know that you could speak.
And the creature sort of, as it hears you, like turns its head, and you get this very uncomfortable experience of watching as it like curves forward and then back around, so its head is now facing over the coils. And it looks at you and says, "Why would you think that I was silent? Perhaps you thought me a snake, the head of which you could chop and eat if you wished. But I am greater than my weaker cousins. Why have you come to be consumed, little human?"
So first of all, I'm deeply sorry that I assumed. I didn't know better. And I'm afraid I also haven't come here to be consumed. Actually, I was told that you were going to eat the sun. And I think most people would prefer the sun to be uneaten. And I was hoping to stop you from doing that. So.
By the way, in case anyone's asking or curious, normally we wouldn't have a back and forth like this in a combat round, given the combat rounds last 6 seconds. However, this is a bit different. It's a little bit more of a variable combat, in part because of the nature of this beast. And also because it's holding an action, which I haven't described yet. So, it looks at you and it says, "So, you are afraid I will consume the ball of fire. But the truth is that in the end, that ball of fire helps no one. What has it done for you except burn your land and parch your throat? When I have finished, the world will be a comfortable and cool darkness in which creatures can coexist." You see its great tail kind of sweep up behind it.
What kind of creatures?
Those that are proven worthy. I myself seek servants. Perhaps you could convince me that you should work for me. I would reward you well, and you would remain unconsumed.
What kind of work are we talking about?
First, to get rid of those 3 precious witches. They interfere with my plans. Second, to prepare the world for my arrival.
No, that's not happening. And also, are you aware that one of the women that you call witches is really trying to save your life here? Really does not want to see you dead.
Are you speaking about that fool girl? She knows nothing of what I am. Were it up to her, I would play with the sheep and the pigs of this land instead of consuming them. She is a fool, as are you if you believe her. The old one, though, she knows what I am, but is too feeble to do anything about it. She probably wanted you to kill me, didn't she?
Yeah, that would be right.
And you would have done it if I had wandered through these halls. Perhaps your warriors, your friends, your followers here, they would have tried to trap me. I suppose you would not have minded killing me without hearing my story if it suited your purpose.
Well, I did kind of assume you were an animal. So.
Of course. An animal, just like they say. What say you now? And so his body moves up, and now you can see his head almost banging into like the top of the passageway as he moves back and forth. And you notice, by the way, Genevieve, that as his head moves back and forth, there's a glinting, almost a luminescence about his scales and his eyes that sort of draw you in even a little bit.
Can you remind me what the orb does exactly again?
The orb basically resets the sun tracker. So when you've run out of rounds, you can reuse it to sort of set it back to, I don't know, late afternoon or sort of, as opposed to actual sundown. While we're on that subject, incidentally, Sun Tracker has just had its first one ticked off.
Well, yeah, what do I say now? I say now that clearly you are a being that is capable of making rational decisions and yet deciding to drown the world in darkness. And also wish me to kill my god, which is not something I want to do. So...
And as it's sort of like, as you sort of describe it, or say this to it, it looks at you and sort of bends its great head in a little bit, and then says, "Why is that your god? Because they told you so. I am real power. They have deception to work for them, but you can see my strength for yourself." Sinuous body moving back and forth.
And how strong would that be? All I've seen you do is slither around and talk so far, so...
Really? Then perhaps a demonstration is in order. I would like Gasib. I'd love to see it. I would like Gasib, please, to make a wisdom saving throw, which means in this case we're looking just a flat d20.
Or Yati, not Yati.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, sorry. Galib is what I meant.
What did you say? What check?
A wisdom saving throw, which is just sort of a flat d20 for these guys because...
No.
Okay. So the serpent looks at you and then says, "Come forth, minion. This one wishes to know of your power. Sorry, of my power." And as you look, the creature does this weird movement where it kind of pushes itself a little bit against the passageway. And suddenly you see Galib sort of moving underneath it and past it to face you. And you can see Galib's eyes look glazed over. And he's kind of like doing this. And the serpent chuckles and says, "Now, I wonder what would happen if I ordered this one to attack you. Perhaps you would slay him and thus lose your friend, or be slain and thus lose your life. This is the power I promise, little human."
I don't like either of those options. Thank you.
And he chuckles again. All right, Genevieve, that's a very extended turn of conversation. But again, that was partly based on this. So it's very clear that Galib is not himself at the moment. All right, so that's going to bring us up to the top of the round. Galib does not move yet, but he does step forward. This is on the follower turn. He steps forward here and woozily almost draws out his scimitar and kind of faces you, slightly swaying on his feet. Doesn't attack yet, but he's there. At the moment, you don't have control over him. What would you want, if anything, and you don't have to necessarily break from the plan, do you want Mundir and Rickmod to do anything and or Guy?
So Mundir and Rickmod would try to sneak away.
Okay. Oh,
So
and I'm sorry, Tari. I just want to mention one thing. I'm sorry. Just one note. You can, as the hero, use your action on your turn to try to make a persuasion check to break the beguilement that Galib is under. So you can do that. It is an action, just so you know to use it, but you could try to do that. Now, go ahead and talk about what you're saying.
Yeah, I want Mundir to try and sneak over to this point.
Okay. You're trying him to be stealthy, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check. You can do this at advantage, though, because the serpent is occupied with his minion. And,
That's a 13 then.
Okay. Go ahead and make it an advantage, though.
I did. I just rolled 5.
Oh, that first one is an 8. Okay. So a 13. Okay, let me see. Opposed check one moment.
If you want to give me a triple advantage.
3 advantages. No, I do not. Okay. I would like you personally, Genevieve, to make an insight check for me. Also, thanks, Saitera. I'm glad that he has a great ASMR voice. All right.
10.
Let go all of your difficult moments of the day. Right. Okay, a 10. You see, I guess the way I would describe it is you see the serpent kind of hesitate for a moment, but briefly, and you don't know why. Otherwise, Mundir is able to get up to wherever you want him to be. You said, let me give you control over him, actually. Controlled by TariToons. Okay.
Give me control over the snake instead.
Yeah. No. All right, you now have control over Mundir.
Okay, so sneaking is then 15 feet, right?
Yes, yes. Technically, you could go regular speed and sneak, but then you have disadvantage on the check. So.
What is the rules for going diagonally?
You can do that. That would be just 5 feet here and then 10 feet here. You could do that. So that would get you here if you wanted to do just diagonals. Mm-hmm. Okay. What about Rickmod?
Wait, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15.
5 foot squares though, right? 5, 10, 15.
So it's 5. Yeah, okay. I'm bad with numbers.
It's okay. It's all right.
And I want Rickmod to sneak over in the other direction.
Okay. So same deal, stealth check, but at advantage.
That's 15.
Okay. We'll take that, not the one. Yes, so you can do that, no problem. Where do you want her to move? Yeah, I know you said the other direction, but
3, 4,
sorry, let me give you control over her
here.
too. Okay, you now have control over her. Go ahead. That's a little far if you want to do the... Because she started... She started here, right?
1. No,
2,
she
3.
there, right?
You were here.
1, 2, 3.
And I know you were here, and I know that because he had to move
1,
through you.
2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3. Not if you're doing 15 to sneak, though. Remember 5 feet per square? So it'd be 5 here, 10 here, and 15 feet here.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I find this incredibly difficult, like with the... played on a grid at the moment.
It's fine. So you could actually get one further square down if you want, and if you want to just peek around the edge. I don't know if you want that or if you want to stay where you are. It's up to you.
Wait.
Yeah, because you started here, so you could go that.
Oh, you mean Rickmod?
Yeah, Rickmod. So Rickmod could go a further step to the south if you wish.
Well, I wanted to stay hidden, so maybe don't get.
Okay,
to the
that's fine.
Edge.
Yep. that's fine. And then do you want Guy to move anywhere? Also, hi, Gary and Kellis. You read Beowulf in 7th, 8th grade. One of the best stories I ever read. We stopped before the dragon. How can you stop before the dragon? It's one of the coolest parts. Of course, a translation suitable for middle schoolers. That story was violent and awesome. Yes, highly recommend the Seamus Heaney translation, which is what I use in my fantasy class teaching this Beowulf. Heaney, which some people call the Shameless Heaney edition because they think he does too much with it. They're wrong. You need a poet to translate poetry at that level, I think. So anyway, okay, so you're going to stay there. And then Guy, where would you like, as I give you control of Guy?
He can just stay where he is.
Okay. He is going to move where he is. Hello, Gary. All right, sounds good. Now, on the follower's turn, okay, he already did that. So he is facing you with his scimitar drawn. Now it is the serpent's turn. So the serpent hisses again and... I suppose there are others, creatures, that you have wandering through my home. It is not particularly polite to walk into someone else's house and then go through all the rooms and chambers. I will have to spend some time ferreting out every one of them. I thought I heard something behind me. And it swivels its great head to look at the wall behind it where the red X is. Perhaps I will go and find whatever or whoever it is after I have finished with you. And it pauses and then chuckles again and then slides its body this way. 5, 10. Trailing part of its body behind it. So its tail is still like here. But its front is going this way. You don't know whether it's curving, down or it's too narrow to curve ahead of it, but whether it's going to curve down or what. But that is what it is doing. Which leads us to you, Genevieve. You are facing Galib in front of you, and the serpent is going somewhere.
Right. In that case, Genevieve would try and would now concentrate on even Galib.
Okay.
And basically try to talk him down.
What do you say? You weak-minded fool! You're gonna pull a Jabba the Hutt on the.
We've known each other for a long time. There's no need to raise your sword against me. I thought we were friends. What would your husband think if you hurt me?
And he kind of blinks a little bit at as sort of swaying back and forth unsteadily.
So do I get that roll or?
Maybe. Is that all you're going to say? I'm calculating this roll.
Don't make me oh God.
It doesn't have to be a world-beating speech. I think you're just being true to Genevieve, which is fine.
Yeah,
I just want to know how you're doing that.
That's what I'm doing, basically.
Okay. So, all right. Now, chat, because there is an inspiration available, and actually, now that I think of it, never mind. You have it. Are you going to use it on this?
Yes.
Seems reasonable. Okay. So I'm going to bring you down to 0 points here. But yes, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me, please, at advantage.
That's 15.
15. All right. So as you say his husband, he kind of blinks and then... husband. And then looks down at his hand, and his hand shakes. And then he drops the scimitar, and he says, Genevieve, my head, what has happened? Where am I?
A little serpent makes its way into your brain, but this is fine now. We have different things to take care of.
And he sort of, clearly is recovered. Now, you still have him. That took your action, but you got him back. now you still have your movement, but the creature just slithered off somewhere. So where would you like to move?
Item interaction to push the wall over.
You certainly can do that, although that would be your action.
No, I already used my action.
Right.
So, that was a silly little joke. I knew that was going to fly.
Oh, can I just run and do that now? But you could move somewhere where there's a weakness. I mean, you already plotted out the weak areas.
Yeah, but like in the meantime, this guy is going to move again, and then he's going to know where I am. So
maybe you can be stealthy.
Maybe I could.
Think positively. Also, I love that. I also teach Grendel. Gary and Kellis is a wonderful book. Wonderful book.
I don't know where I want to move. So since this guy already knows where I am anyway, I think I'm just going to move over here. Like into the doorway.
Okay.
There.
Alrighty, you can do that. All right.
Like ready my weapons, I suppose.
Okay. There we go. Copy. All right. There we go. And
I would drink some coffee as I usually do at the beginning of the stream, but it's so hot to...
there we go. Second round has passed. And it is now your follower's turn. As we get to the top of the third round now. So we're at the top of the third round. So where do you want your followers now to move? And just, you can take them in whatever order you like for them to move wherever you want them to be.
So he sneaks over there.
Okay.
And since these two, Rickmot and Mundir, would have heard the serpent coming along,
yep,
they would like hurry back to their positions and push the wall.
Okay. So let's see. I think that's reasonable. I think he can get back to that spot. All right. So
he just snuck away previously, so that was just 15 feet. So he's not sneaking now; he's running.
No, I know. Yeah, he'd given up the sneak part. It's just a sort of the power of this. Okay. Let's see. So. Okay. Now, I should mention, this is important too. At the beginning of, at the end of this round that just passed, I forgot to mention that outside, it's been raining a little bit, and now you hear, so thunderstorm outside, and now it is
me with a good time.
pouring, I know, right? Pouring outside, so that rain now is beginning to lash down into the broken barrow where you were sitting, or where you were standing. Now, the reason that this is important is that at the moment, the rain is lashing the combatants, but you can already tell that the floor, which is mostly dirt, of course, and some stone, the stone is going to be very slippery very quickly. And the dirt is going to get very muddy very quickly if it keeps this rain, if the rain keeps up at this level. So that may have an effect on combat effectiveness for you and or the serpent. Just something to keep in mind. Okay. Now they're going to attempt to push down these areas. Okay. So
can we take a 2-minute break because I think I still need that coffee?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Otherwise, okay.
Absolutely. While you take that 2-minute break, I'm going to talk to Chad a little bit. So, for those of you who are just arriving, thunderstorms, how many of us are high above? Do they have anything metallic on them? Exactly. Yeah, I could imagine that, Gary. Like, it always ends at a certain point that you're familiar with. So, in case people are curious as to why it is that Genevieve has all these options, for those of you who missed our last session, the reason is that Genevieve got here a good amount of time ahead of the serpent, which basically allowed her to scout out the area. If she had not succeeded in the quest with Modor to get the friendship between the farmer and the elf, If she had not succeeded in doing that, then she would not have gotten here in time. And most of this area that she's in now would be all in darkness, like fog of war, sort of traditional fog of war, and would be getting revealed as she was opening these parts of the passageway. But because she got here earlier, it means that she now was able to sort of see the entire area in front of her. And she has the bauble. She did not succeed in the quest that would have given her the spear that would have done even more damage to this thing. But, you know, she did succeed in some ways. So I think that's kind of cool because it gives sort of different ways to approach this adventure. And she was the one who went around and said, I want to mark every sort of like loose area that I can find of the map. The fact that the creature was able to beguile one of her followers might not have been something she originally expected. What is this, a TTRPG? Hey, Miranda. Yes, we are playing Beowulf with our good friend TariToons, who is just grabbing some coffee, and then we'll be right back. This is the final fight of this particular part of Beowulf Age of Heroes, Witches in the Wyrm. I should mention, by the way, Chad, I talked about this with Tari, but after this, we basically have 2 adventures left that we're going to be running in Beowulf. I'll announce the title of the next one after this one finishes, and then there'll be one more, and that will essentially conclude Beowulf for now. I'm not removing the possibility that we could come back to it again, but it will basically end it for now. And you may be thinking, but that means we won't get as much of Nope, fear not, because in addition to the Fighting Fantasy Gamebook stuff, we're also going to be playing something new featuring not just Tari, but also a few other people. I don't want to announce that one yet, though, until I get a few more, here's a little bit of a clue, ducks in a row, so to speak, basically. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited for it. But it's not happening immediately anyway, because, again, we have 2 more adventures after this. The next adventure probably is going to be about 4 sessions, which is going to work out to the rest July and then the rest of August and maybe a little bit of September. And then we'll have 1 adventure after that to wrap up. So my guess would be that Beowulf will come close to the end of the year. And then at that, we will wrap it up, and then we'll move into this next thing. But again, I'm not announcing what that is or who else is involved until we get there. But I will say that it will involve Tari for sure. But I am not announcing anything else about what it is and all that stuff until we get there. So
I am Tari for sure. What are we talking about?
Nothing, never mind. No, just kidding. We're talking about what you and I talked about in the green room, but I haven't announced the name of what it is that we're going to be playing after Beowulf yet. I have not announced that, but so yes.
It is not, in fact, keep talking and nobody explodes. That's not going to become a regular.
As fun as that was, it was definitely it was definitely intense.
No, it was fun, but that is not something that can be done 3 hours. 4 sessions.
No. All right. What's our keep talking and everyone explodes session? Yeah, no, that's not.
And also another painkiller.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
I don't know how common that is, but like when it's like hot, like I get these like it's not necessarily a headache. It's in like pain itself. It's more like this constant pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like as if my brain is wrapped in a corset. It's not comfortable.
No, I totally get it. Well, and I mean, yeah, maybe your brain is swelling from the heat. Wait, what? No.
Just like all the intelligence that I've soaked up over the years.
I mean, yeah, listen.
Firing back on me.
Exactly. Yeah. This is your own fault. You didn't have to be all galaxy brain, but you were, and so now your skull has to fit a galaxy. No, but I appreciate the fact that Tari did not want to cancel and wanted to soldier on and do this. And also we have a serpent to stop, one way or the other. So.
I am a big fan of snakes.
Yes. Snake. That's true. You actually come around the side and you just see a massive cardboard box just sitting on the ground.
Oh my god.
And then you go Rick, and a big exclamation point.
Cute. I'm your biggest fan. Please autograph.
Oh man, good times. Yeah. I have to look into it. I bet there's a Metal Gear Solid tabletop role-playing game. I'm sure there is. I just don't know anything about it.
No, there isn't one. one, there is a board game in the style of Hero
Yes.
Quest, which I have.
Yes.
Very good. It's an incredibly good game. Very well made. Very complex. Oh, Jesus.
Who makes that?
And,
Who makes the board game?
I would need to check. I can go get it. It's up there on the cupboard.
Is it like fantasy? Well, okay, but is it recent though? I guess is my question.
Yeah, it came out last winter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like brand new.
Oh, gee, I don't want to make. Well, I don't want to make you run up and get something else, but you know.
I'll be right back.
All right. I'm curious. The Metal Gear Solid board game is you play with cardboard boxes. If there isn't, there is now. I mean, I've played. You all know that I love espionage stuff, and I have played before Wilderness of Mirrors, which is John Wick, not the assassin, but the game designers. Game that allowed me to do my assignment Impossible, which someday I'd like to do again with that. So, okay. Oh, check that out. Okay, so who's the designer? I mean, not designer, the company.
The company is CMON.
Is what? Say it again.
CMON.
CMON. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, basically.
Huh.
And like the lead designer is a guy named Emerson Matsuichi.
Okay.
Matsuichi. But, I don't know what that means pronounced like. Very good. Incredibly good.
To the Shadow Mages campaign.
And there apparently is a really, really bad Japanese-only choose-your-own-adventure book.
Is there really?
Based on the first Metal Gear. Well, it's not based on the first Metal Gear. It's like an unofficial sequel to the first Metal Gear. But yeah, there is no translation of that anywhere. And apparently it's also terrible, so...
Spectre Ops. I'm just looking at this right now. Stealth system is simple yet evocative. 14 linear scenarios. That's cool. Wow. Very cool.
It's a really good game.
Yeah, that's cool. Neat. Okay.
Like,
sorry
if you
about
like Metal Gear and you like stuff like Hero Quest, you will love this game.
I happen to really like co-op games in general, so that's why I was curious.
Like the really fun part is that you can play this entirely alone.
Yeah.
Like all the missions come with like different number of player requirements and can be played with like 1, 2, 4 players.
That's cool for like scaling and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's great.
I did a lot of that with Lord of the Rings stuff. There was I backed a Tomb Raider game, which is a solo Tomb Raider board game that just finished on Kickstarter, which looks really cool too. So anyway,
I have to say one more thing about the board game before we get back. It's like my favorite thing about this is, let me get it out, is so like you collect items in between missions, and then you keep them in a separate little box in this thing. And it's designed to look like an old PlayStation 1 memory card.
Cool. Memory box. That's really cool. So it's
good.
kind of a legacy game then, in that you're keeping there. Do you permanently change, like put stickers on cards or something like that?
No.
Or okay, so it's just that. That's cool. That's cool. I like co-op games of different types. Although that probably wouldn't hit my table because I'd be the only one that was that interested. The rest of my family would be like, wait, what? They like games, but
play it entirely alone. So.
I could play it totally solo. That's true. All right. Well, anyway, thanks, Chad, for that brief digression down memory lane. All right, or not memory lane, darn memory box.
And I ripped the box because I didn't pay attention.
Oh no! Now you've done it. Snake,
Yeah.
snake.
I did it once again. Never mind.
Just call Meryl or whatever. Doot, doot. I don't understand. The box doesn't seem to be working. They seem to have ripped it somehow.
That would be a gear-related question, so I would need to call Nastasia.
Okay. Or wait, what about Otacon? Not Otacon. The scientist. You know what's his name?
Otacon is the scientist.
Yeah, Otacon is a scientist. Otacon, how do I fix this box?
Oh no, actually, I think you would need to call Mei Ling about this, because like she's in charge of all the gear that isn't weapons.
Oh, okay.
I think.
That's fair enough. Okay, sorry, back to Beowulf. Way back. Okay, so Right. So the followers went. They are going to try to push things over on this wall. Okay. So what I would like you to do here is, let's see. Collapse the tunnels. Okay. I would like you to make a strength check, please, for, I guess we would say for Mundir, and then have do that at advantage because I'm assuming Rickmod is helping. So we're going to do that at advantage.
14.
14 or a 7. Yes, so the stone crumbles down down on top of the creature. So I would like you to roll, please, for me, 6d6 for the damage. We're going to add 10 to it.
Plus 10, so 33.
33 points of damage. All right. So it comes down on the beast. And make a note of that. And it thrashes in... okay. And it thrashes wildly as this happens. Now, now what I need is it thrashes wildly as it's hit by these stones. You have definitely damaged it. However, its tail whipping back and forth and its body moving from side to side means that both Rickmod and Mundir are going to have to make saving throws. This they can't help each other with. They have to do this on their lonesome because the rocks are headed their way.
Mm-hmm.
And so just a flat d20 for each one. So tell me who you're rolling for first.
Rickmod.
Okay.
That's a 12.
Okay, I'll come back to that.
That's also 12.
Another 12. That is enough. They are able to dodge out of the way. Just. And the rocks sort of slam into the walls and so on. So they are there. Of course, the creature now whipping its head around now sees... so there's this wall no longer exists, okay, that's over here. And so now it's just a bunch of rubble, and it now sees them over the rubble. You still have a few other followers to take into account, but I do want to note that the serpent may react to that in a moment. So we'll talk about, you know, how that works in a second. However, you still have Guy and you have Galib to handle. So what do you want to do with the two of them?
Well, Guy can't really do anything.
Could be follower fodder, I suppose, but otherwise, yeah, not much.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. I guess he would try and sneak further away. 1, 2, 3. Let's put him over there.
Okay. I won't bother to ask you about a stealth check there because the rumbling means the serpent is paying 0 attention at the moment to that. Okay. What about Galib?
Wait. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He
Yep.
walks over
I agree
there.
with your math. Mm-hmm.
Can followers dash?
They could theoretically double move. Yes. Yes.
Okay. 1, 5, 10, 15, over here. Okay.
All right. Okay. Now it is the serpent's turn. So it sees both Rickmod and Mundir there as they threw themselves clear. Let's see. Okay. All right. So it reaches out its head over the stones. And let's see. Let's decide which one of these creatures that it sees in front of it it's going to go after. I'm going to roll a d4. 1 to 2 means the target of this is Rickmod. 3 to 4 means the target is Mundir. We've got a 3, so it is Mundir who is the target. All right. So let's see if it goes. All right.
So I want to just point out that even though Pride Month is now officially over, technically do not kill either Mundir or Gali, because that would be invoking the bury your gaze trope, which is no bueno, so you can't kill them.
I see.
I think it says so in the book on like page.
Yeah, I can. Okay. I certainly do not want to contribute to such a trope. I do, however, want to give the full faith, understanding, and commitment to these as fully realized all people who can make their own decisions about who they risk and don't. So it lifts, so it slithers over the rocks, just its first part of its body, opens its great jaws, and then closes them on Mundir and swallows him.
What? Like whole.
Yes, whole. Means may not be dead yet.
I mean, he could do a date with Lister, so in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the preview, like in the opening scene.
Or you know, Mandalorian going after the big worm, and that happens also. That's fine. I'm sure all Mundir has to do is use his Mandalorian Beskar armor and his jetpack, and that should be no problem.
Yeah, he definitely has.
Which he completely has. All right, so the creature does that, and then its baleful gaze turns on Rickmod, but does not also double attack. You'll be happy to know. So that leads us to you, Genevieve. Now, I'm not sure. Actually, you probably.
Baleful gaze? It's more like his belly full
his
of gaze.
Wow. His Mundir full gaze. Know what I'm saying? All right.
Only class A jokes here.
It's the best possible option. And what's great is that these snake jokes all scale. All right. So, Genevieve, I was about to say that I don't know you could see it, but actually, since it sort of turned back and then looked over and then kind of moved its head over the rocks, I think you might actually been able to see that where there were once Rickmod and Mundir, now there is just Rickmod. So I think you might have seen that something has happened to Mundir. But it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Run over here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and push this wall over.
I would love a strength check from this. Before you do it, I do want to remind chat that inspirations have been reset. Genevieve is fresh out of Tari, I should say, is fresh out of inspirations to help Genevieve. So if you want to help,
-1 on strength checks.
Right, and -1 on strength checks. So now is the time. Can you buy one? Yes, it's the new month, so you could actually get one of the inspirations, the channel point inspirations, Prince Justin. Yep. Also, you have one anyway, Prince Justin, just so you know. I'm pretty sure you have one regardless.
Yeah, but this way he can fuck over everybody else.
He can save it. Yes, so you have one. All right. So, Prince Justin, are you inspiring Genevieve? You want to save that one? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's. Listen, I'm with you. All right, so Prince Justin, good job. Thank you, Prince Justin, has inspired Genevieve. So put your shoulder into it, as they say.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm using that inspiration. That's a regular strength check, right?
Strength check, yes.
13.
13
that
is
enough, right?
13 is actually enough. So a 1 would not have been, obviously. But the 13 does. So it rumbles down on this creature. And now what I would like is for you to roll, what did I say last time? 66 plus 10?
Yes.
I'd like you to do that again, please.
Thank you. 23.
Okay. We had a few ones there. Okay, 23. Right, okay.
Me rolling once. Never happens.
That never happens. Okay. Still, that's the second time that you've rumbled this stone down upon the creature. And
So
I
I'm
actually...
already requesting, so whatever game we might play after, next after this game.
Yeah.
For character creation, I want to say to let us balance out the character stats for Artie.
Oh, I mean, listen, the only reason that this worked out the way it did is, as you know, is because of the situation with your previous hero, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I rolled excellently for the stats for Hunter, and I wrote like absolute garbage for Paper. Like, my fucking god, this doesn't even compare. Ugh.
Yes,
Ugh.
I cannot deny it. Yeah, I mean, I think you'll see character creation itself is a fun thing in this game that we don't even know what it is yet, but we will soon, chat.
Well, I know.
You do. That's true. Yes, that's true. I know, and so do you. Okay.
I know everything.
Also, I forgot to mention that this is now 3 rounds that have gone down, and so on the third round, after the third round completed. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So I have a advantage for you, a situation here that you're gonna like, Tari, because I didn't realize that that on the third mark, an enormous crack of thunder splits the air and causes the adder to pause in its attacks. So you can seize the moment, gaining inspiration if they don't already have it. And if they do already have it, a token is added to the hero pool. So that means that I'm going to let you have an inspiration now. So we still used Prince Justin's, but it means you have an inspiration sitting there for use. I still have mine, of course, sitting there.
That's a hero pool.
Yeah, but you can still. Yeah, but that's but you can still use that for the traditional inspiration ways. So yeah, that happened after the third one. So good stuff. Also, thank you, Prince Justin, for the inspire, as I mentioned. All right, so that was Genevieve, who went and knocked that down. Creature is looking at you. Also, I have a little bit of...
Wait, I still have one thing of movement left, so I'm going to...
You do have a little bit of movement, just that much, yep. Yes. I was going to say also that you don't know, there's a lot of stone and rock now on top of the serpent. That may not slow it down. We'll see what it does. It might slow it down briefly, but not for long. We shall see. All right. So that was at the end of the round. Okay, so that was 3 that I was doing that on. Right. So now we're up to used up 4. So we're just passing 4 now. As the followers are going to get to go in a minute. All right. But first... Okay. On Mark 4, there we go. The creature, this is actually narratively perfect, thrashes its tail against the ground in pain and probably frustration. So I need, let's see, every creature within a 70-foot radius. Okay, so pretty much everybody is going to have to make a dexterity saving throw to avoid being knocked prone.
That's a 16 for Genevieve.
Okay. So that's fine. You stay on your feet.
6 for Rickmod.
Rickmod is prone.
7 for Galib. And a 14 for Guy.
Okay, Galib is also prone. But the 14 for Guy, so Guy stays up. Okay, so 2 of your followers are prone. All right, so now it is your followers' turn. So what would you like them to do? Obviously, Rickmod and Galib can get back up, but they won't be able to move this turn. Or they could stay on their, back and do something awesome when they're lying down, I guess.
So is the serpent currently stuck in place?
Hard to tell how much the rocks will slow it down. It might slow it down for a turn, but you're not 100% sure. There are a lot of rocks on it, but it thrashed its body around, which obviously dislodged some of the stones. So not sure.
Yeah, so the other guys just get up, and then Rigmod's gonna 1, 5, 10, 15. Because half movement, right? Also getting up.
Well, technically, the way that we do it is that when you're prone, you uses all your movement to get back up. But I'll allow this in this case if that's all you're doing is just having her move. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. What about Galib?
Yeah, I'll forget.
Okay.
Up and away. Well, that's away.
Stand up. Yes, and he's staying where he is, though?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Guy?
He already moved. Kept sneaking.
Oh, okay. All right. So now we have to talk about the one follower, which is okay. At the moment, I will tell you. You don't know the details of this yet, but at the moment, I will tell you that Mundir counts as spent. What the sort of long-term impact of this is unclear, but at the moment, you don't really have access, literally, to him.
Well,
So,
I mean, he's inside a big monster.
Right.
So,
I didn't think you'd be too surprised, but you know. All right. So, this creature does, in fact, not move. Like, it shakes on its turn. It shakes its body. More rocks fly out of the way. I'm tempted to have you make a dex throw, but I won't do it in this case. Instead, it turns in its head, but because it is where it is, it can try to... Oh, it has two options here. It's using its tail and its head. All right.
Well, I mean, it did go forward towards the wall, right? So it would be facing with the tail towards.
Right. And towards Genevieve, and that's... Yes. All right. We're looking at an 18 to hit, Genevieve, as it thrashes its tail at you.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So, by the way, you're at 21 out of 35 is what I had you for hit points. Is that what you have, or am I off?
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
So how much damage?
I'm working it out now.
No damage, because you can't figure it out. Okay, next.
Yeah, sure. No, that is 12 piercing damage.
Ouch.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw because this thing has a sting.
Sting?
A sting.
Sting. That's a 15.
That is enough. So, you were only going to take...
If don't I have like a thing about poison?
I don't know. Do you?
Venom, pardon me. Venom, not a poison.
Oh, yes. Well, from the tail, I guess it would be venom, huh? Isn't the venom in the fangs, though? Or is it the other way?
Venom is just something that is injected into you. Poison is something that you ingest.
So, right. Okay. That's fair. Yeah. So, you are...
Oh, I have advantage on these rolls, so it would have been a 17.
Okay. All right. So you were only going to write stone belly to resist the effects of any poison. Okay. All right. So that means that you are going to be able to resist them. Okay. So that means you're only going to take 3 extra poison damage, which puts you at 6 out of 35. But it's better than being either swallowed or stung for worse.
Yeah, well, one more hit and I'm down, huh?
Yeah. All right. Now it is your turn, as the serpent does not move any further than that. Snake eater.
Ba-da-da-da-da. What a thrill. Okay. No. I'm using my item interaction to get me bow out.
Okay.
I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20.
That'll be here.
Yep. Over here.
Perfect. Yep.
Then I'm gonna shoot at this guy.
Shoot it. Okay.
Me bow. I'm assuming 11 doesn't hit.
11 will hit. This is
Oh!
actually not
Oh, because
yeah,
it's so massive.
because
That's
it's
why
so
the armor
massive.
comes
And the
with-
scales are not they're not actually dragon hard scales. So yeah. I was waiting for you to do that the first time, be like, oh, you know,
Roll damage.
because
That's a 7.
7. All right.
Here,
So
here.
it strikes solidly beneath the scales, and you can see the thing is still sort of like sweeping around. But yeah, it is not. You have you're hanging in there, although it does a lot of damage every time. Okay.
And then I move my remaining 10 feet over here.
Sounds like a plan. All right, that's going to bring us to the top of the round. And so now we are through 5 rounds here, as we can see on our handy-dandy tracker. And at this level, you're now starting... This is very appropriate because you're now living this actual experience, Tari, because you can feel the heat of the battle now is starting to do something around you. You can see that a bunch of things have been already crumbled, so there's already rocks falling on top of it. But you can also see that more rocks are starting to fall. And so I need everybody, except for, and including Guy actually, to make a dexterity saving throw because rocks are starting to rain down from the walls and the ceiling. So that's for you, right?
19 for
You're fine.
Eva.
So you're clear.
That's a 1 for Pigmot again.
Not clear.
A 3 for Galip and a 19 for Guy. What the fuck?
And a 19 for Guy. So Guy is just like, man, okay, you'll be happy to know that the serpent also has to, although the serpent, wow, the serpent just like serpentine, I guess, avoids, critically succeeds. But, all right, so Rickmod is hit, and Rickmod is going to be spent as a result. Rickmod, you've been spent. And guess who else is spent? Galibo also missed.
Everybody spent.
Yep. Everybody's spent. It's you verse, apparently.
Oh.
Okay. But you have damaged this thing a lot. So, but yeah, the barrow is becoming increasingly unstable. All right. It is now your followers' turns. They are all spent, but you could technically at least have them move if you want, except for the one that's swallowed.
I want them all to move outside.
Okay, so Rickmod's going to move outside.
Yeah,
She can.
here's the exit, right?
That's basically as far as she can get. Yeah, and you want Galib to do the same.
Yeah. And
Okay, and Guy, which
he's
way?
just gonna run now that everything is collapsing.
Yep.
Oh wait, he would run in this direction actually. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay.
Oh, dashing actually. No. So 1.
And he can sneak through that opening.
There. Okay, that's everybody.
Okay. All right. So, that is the ones that do that, that do that, that. Okay. Right. So, all right. That's going to lead us to so now it is the serpent's turn, and now it is moving again. So it shakes off the rocks. 5, 10, 15. So it moves this way. Oh, sorry.
And the map is gone.
He's still in there. There we go. He moves this way, but as he comes towards you, Genevieve, suddenly you hear this sound from above you, and it is a sound of something going, "Ah, get out of here. It's my land anyway." And you look up and you see this familiar face. It is the elf Kinnefrith, and he's not the only one. You also see Elston and his wife and the children.
Yes.
And the guy from the boar whose name I don't have, but just you have to remember he was inside the boar.
That is Is it Samhain?
I think that's right. All
Yeah.
of them are there throwing rocks and sticks and stone. And the serpent, which is like, and the reason they can get to it is because a lot of the roof is caved in at this point, even more than normal. So they're throwing things at it, and it. So it is completely distracted and does not do anything this round other than just sort of like whip its head around, which means, Genevieve, you're there in front of it. So they are giving you a moment.
No, I have a turn?
You have a turn.
Or...
This is your turn anyway, but it is completely distracted from you for all the implications it has. Number one, it's not attacking you. Number two, there may be other implications for it being distracted.
How hurt does this guy look?
Pretty hurt. You see a lot of like ichor sort of coming from its scales. You can see a lot of bent in and like, bruised portions of its body where the stones hit. I mean, it's had 2 cave-ins on it and it's been hit by your arrow. So, yeah, fairly hurt.
Yeah, I'm using my reaction to put my bow away, my item interaction to draw my sword, or Runzel sword, rather.
Okay.
And then I use my talking action to talk to chat. please, my friends. Wait, I have an inspiration. I got
You
one.
have an
Oh,
inspiration. You have one.
I'm using that one.
Yep.
And from Hell's Heart, I stab at thee.
Okay.
Oh God.
With your bow or with your sword? I missed that.
With the Runzel sword.
With Runzel sword. Lovely. Of course.
I'm scared.
But you have the power of advantage.
That is a 13.
13,
That hits, right?
13 will hit. Yep.
Okay, and I get bonus damage because I have Mighty Metal. No, wait, that's the wrong one. Here, Fighting Style.
Desperate Dueling.
Yes. Plus 2 damage.
Plus 2 to damage. Nice. I love it. I like what I see.
What do you mean 0 damage? That can't be. I get -1 on strength, so I get 2 damage?
No, that can't be right. There's no way. Runesild sword. Let me just check something.
It's just a regular sword.
Yeah, so it would be at least D8. It
-1.
-1 plus 2. So D8
Yeah.
plus 1, really. So there's no... I don't know where the hell the 0... Oh, I see, because you rolled a 1. Oh.
Yeah, I have a -1 on strength.
That's why. All right, so... -1, but... So that means you did 1 point of damage to it, is what that means?
No, 2. 0 plus 2.
Oh, right, yeah, yep, because... Right. Well, no, because the 1 minus 1... Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yep, it's 2. Okay, so you do strike into
I'm
it.
bad at math.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, you strike into it. And that's not enough. It's not like it wasn't that close to death. But it feels the bite of Runesild's blade. And we will talk about the impact that may or may not have.
Well, and I still have my movement, which I'm going to use.
And you have your movement, yep.
Oh, but like, is this thing still distracted?
It looks to be right now, yes.
Because of attacks of opportunity. I have only 6 HP. But if it don't run away, I'm definitely going to get it. I'm going to attempt this, okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. That's my turn.
Okay.
Not going well.
All right. So now we go up to the top of the round, but first, let me just get to the, there we go. Copy. Paste. All right, there is an ominous rumbling of thunder from beyond the barrow, but nothing different happens. We've only got a round, and before sundown hits as part of the normal, process of fighting it. Okay. First up to act then are the followers. 2 of them are already outside, Rickmod and Galib. And one of them is swallowed and is not appearing in this picture. And the other one is Gyu is running for the southern exit. So I guess the follower to the south, I guess dealing with Gyu would be what you'd want to deal with, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's just going to run outside. Yeah.
Okay. So he is outside that way. Okay, now the creature is going to go. Let's see. The serpent. Which way is the serpent going to go? It's probably not going to get down there. So, all right. Since you are currently not looking at it, I'm going to need you to make a perception check to see if you can hear where it's going to. It's certainly not stealthing. So, the thing is, it could be... So, I'll give you a few options, okay? You hear a tremendous rumbling and slithering sound. It could have gone here. It could have gone back this way. It could have gone up here. So basically, you have to take a guess. Do you think it went here, or here, or here?
Does it count as the creature hiding from me?
Say this again. What did you ask?
Basically, does it count as hiding?
No. It's moving somewhere, but definitely not for hiding reasons. It's just you don't know where it is because you're blocked at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue.
So you're going to have to take a guess,
I
or...
have to choose one. Okay.
I mean, more or less, yeah. I mean, or push something down and then jump over the pile and go to another place, you know.
Note that people escaped out north, so it would be going more likely that way.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Because it doesn't know that he is there, really.
So that means you're going to head this way? Is that the plan?
Oh, I have to move.
Yeah, it's this is because this is you moving.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, wait. Can I see, like, when I walk past here? Because, like, I can see through here. Can I see, like, anything having moved?
Yeah, it's not there. This is not where it is. I'm just not showing you where it is. Okay. But it's not there at the moment.
Then that's my movement.
So you're going to stop there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll hold my action for if it comes into reach, I'm going to stab it with my sword.
Okay. Because and remember, you will not be able to come in here. It's too narrow. So if you wanted to position yourself to like stab it, it would be here.
Okay,
if you wanted to do that.
I'm going to switch weapons to my bow.
Okay.
And then hold my action to, if it comes into reach,
gotcha.
shoot it.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so that's going to bring us to... We are now on... Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. That's what I wanted.
I can't be surprised in combat. Sounds relevant here.
Mm-hmm. All right. The rain, downpour, and the wind is zipping. You're now 1 round away from sundown. It's very dark outside now. And you know, you are running out of time based on what you know of the creature's habits. Okay. Okay, so the followers are just going to keep... Basically, the followers at this point, I assume, are just going to continue to run. Are they stopping at a certain point, some distance from the barrow?
They would hide somewhere, I suppose.
Going to try to hide? Okay. All right, so they can scramble up the bank and do that. So that leads to the serpent. Let's see. So I would say... Okay. I can't show this because I'm going to screw up my awesome... Actually, wait, maybe I can move them. Can I get all of that? No, too much. Can I get this? All right, I'll move this over here. Okay, and then just that goes move back here. There we go. Great. All right. This creature, you hear this tremendous rumbling sound, Genevieve, and it bursts through the wall here.
Woo!
Is where it is. So now, let me see. 5, 10, 15. I think it's so big you probably do have line of sight on it. So since you were holding your action, you could fire at it.
Yes, please, sir.
All right, make it so.
That's a 12.
12 will hit.
Nice. 5 damage.
Okay. Still looking pretty hurt, but not destroyed yet. Okay. So you held your action.
These walls are destroyed now, right?
That one that it's next to, yeah. Do you want to put the little cool brown thing you were doing? So, and this one tier is destroyed well. But this one is not.
Okay.
And this one is not. And I guess the lower ones, this one is not either. Okay, and this is good timing because it is your turn. It moved. It did not attack yet because it was too far away. But it will presumably try to do that next turn, you would think.
So with the timer, is it like that whatever bad thing is supposed to happen happens on 8?
On
and
8.
Then I have to use the... So do I use the orb like on 7 now?
If you, I was going to say, yeah, if you want to use the orb now to reset, otherwise whatever happens at sundown happens. So yeah, you would probably want to reset it now.
Yeah, then I'm gonna...
Okay, and that's going to take your action. You're cool with that?
One line from the Lord of the Rings, Light of Elendil.
Yes, yes. Be a light for you when all other lights go out.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to hold this thing up. Okay, and when you do, that's actually quite an appropriate terminology because this thing, as it does this, the light within the room, within the barrow, which has grown so dark, begins to brighten. And you think, as you're looking at it, Genevieve, that you almost hear a little bit of laughter. It sounds vaguely like Megan's laughter, or Megden's laughter, somehow around it. And the creature, sort of, the serpent, kind of like, sort of falls back and sort of like rears up as light fills the chamber. So we reset now, which means that at the beginning, I should actually probably move this too. At the beginning of this next turn is when we'll do this again. Now the bauble after that is going to dim, and as I told you, you can only use it once. So this is it. You got these 7 rounds to finish this thing off if you can. Okay. So that brings us. Oh, I knew there was a reason I was doing that. So it is the end of the first one. So now we're going to work backwards. This time we're going to start with 7. So we start this time here. And we just hear, again, rain coming from the outside is basically all. We already know about what the followers have done, so we can leave them behind, except for Mundir, who's still swallowed. And now it is the serpent's turn, so it is going to slither forward. And it's going to come here, and it's going to lash out its head. And Genevieve, you have this thing where its head rings out and like just comes here, like maybe within 8-9 feet of you, and then its mouth opens and its tongue sort of flicks out, but cannot quite reach you where you are because you're in this thin, this narrow 5-foot passage. But you think you also see from somewhere below, you hear the sound of something is calling from inside the body of the creature. So it can't quite get to you where you are, at least not at the moment. And is your turn, Genevieve.
Can I squeeze past this guy, like through here?
That'll be big time attack of opportunity if you do, but you could, yes.
Wait, sorry, not. I shoot him.
Okay. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
10?
10 will miss. As far as movement, by the way.
Don't I get advantage for that?
No. Sorry.
Oh, dang it.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You could, if you double moved. Well, no, actually, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You could still get here-ish, but he would go first.
No, the point was to get to the other side of that wall. And
I figured.
I figured.
Like,
that's not enough movement for that. No, okay, I missed my shot.
Yeah, you do have a move of some kind if you wish.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And that's my turn.
Okay. So we go to the top of the next round. Thunder rumbles ominously across the land. We've already talked about what your followers do. And so now the creature itself is going to move. So there is a... and it crumbles through this wall and then slithers over and gets to about here because it has to crumble. I have to keep bringing it and then bringing Mundir like a second later, like Mundir is still in its body. All right, and it gets there. All right, Genevieve, you're up. Now I will one note. This is already destroyed, as you know. So I'm just letting you know.
I know.
Yeah.
Shoot him in the face.
Shoot him in the face. Shoot him. Literally kiting the Dark Souls boss through the barrow, chat.
I mean, that tactic is way fucking older than Dark Souls. Pardon me, but kiting.
Oh well, yes, kiting of course is older. Oh, I know, of course.
Excuse me.
Absolutely. I'm mentioning Dark Souls because the battle with close quarters, against creatures.
So you said I had advantage on the throw?
I did not. I did not say that. Sadly, that is a miss. Okay. And then you still could move. So where are you moving?
I will move. Thank you. Well, even if it does break through that wall, it still can't get to me, can it?
Which wall? You talking about this one here?
Where I am now, like it can't get to me, right?
At the moment, that's right. Although if it goes around, it could get to you through here now because that wall has been collapsed.
Yeah, but that takes a while, so I'm just going to stay here.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So we go to the top of the next round. And again, more rocks start to rain down from the top of the barrow. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please. It also needs to make this check.
Oh, now the natural 20.
Double critical. Okay, yeah, you just parkour, I assume, out of the way.
Yeah.
It did not, however, make that.
Assuming that the rocks fall down everywhere except where I'm standing. Like, what was that old comedian? Like, old movie actor who like always had like a stoic face. Like
Charlie Chaplin.
No, older than that.
Jeez, I don't know. Buster Keaton.
Keaton, thank you. Yeah.
It is Buster Keaton.
With the house.
Yeah. I was thinking of the little umbrella above the,
Oh, that's also good.
Okay, so now you don't see, but it's possible you don't know whether it made its saving throw or not. But in any case, it is now going to slither. Let's see. And where's it going to go? Okay, so once again, it has disappeared, not down to here. You don't know where it is. So as it is your turn now, Genevieve, we again have a decision to make about where you want to go. If you're guessing about where it is. It definitely didn't go out. You know that for sure because you would have seen it.
Wait, don't I get a perception roll for this one?
Sure. Yeah, that's right. I gave you one in the last one.
Yeah.
Will you make it is the question. You did! Hey! You're pretty sure you heard the sound going away from you as if it was heading south and possibly turning. The turning part would be hard even with a really good perception, but it definitely was heading south and away from where it had been.
It's gonna... Either it's stalling for time, which I doubt. Or... It can't get to me from the right. Not really, only It would be faster for it to go the left way around. But then again, why would it go south first? Then it could just go...
Well, south from where it was. That could mean southeast here, and then back to the west. That's possible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in that case, hold my action to shoot when it comes into range.
Okay.
View.
All right.
Actually, I'm going to take a step back and do that. There.
Okay. If you go here, by the way, you could look around the corner. I'm not telling you how to do that, but if you wanted to get you already have the perception of
but
it.
Do I have still line of sight if he still then pops up into the tunnel on the left side?
I would say so, yeah. Like if you're talking about if he comes here,
then
I think so.
Peek.
Yeah, he's not there, which means that he's clearly gone someplace, but he's not in this area right now.
Yeah, still same thing then. Hold my action to shoot when he comes into view.
All right. That is going to bring us to... Whoops, darn it. Kept the wrong thing. Find the little thing. The little one. There we go. Copy that. Put that like that, and that is going to go up here. Okay. Right. Something huge thrashes against the ground, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as it does so, as the floor rumbles and shakes.
14?
That's enough. You barely managed to keep from being thrown prone by whatever this thing has been doing. Okay, we already talked about the followers, so it's going to go... Okay, so it now suddenly appears here, slithering over the top of the rubble here. So
Shoot.
You could shoot
22.
it. Yes. 22 will absolutely hit.
4 points.
4 points. Starting to look extremely hurt, but not destroyed yet.
My fucking God.
Big boss guy.
You die?
Why won't you die? Okay. Right. So that was that was your held action.
Keep forgetting to mark up ammo. I'm just gonna mark up 3 arrows, which sounds about right.
Okay. That was your held action, and it's now your turn actually. So you see where it is.
Shoot.
Okay. Fire again.
20.
Yes.
Unnatural.
Hit again.
3 points of damage.
Ah, man. Second verse, same as the first. It keeps, you keep like ping, 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 ping. You keep chipping away.
Say, oh yeah, that totally was enough.
Exactly. It was almost dead, but it was just 3 points away. No, sadly not. Yeah. Okay, that was on its turn, which means...
then I'm gonna move. 5, 10, 15, 25 over here.
Okay. And you lose sight of it there. That's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're running low on time. Yeah.
Because where I was standing, it couldn't get to me, right? Without going around.
Right, although, it pretty close, though. I mean, probably not, but pretty close. Because this area here has been destroyed, and the whole rock area now is starting to look pretty loose. It could probably smash through the remaining area of that spot, you would think, on the next turn.
Okay, then, I'm staying, then I'm good. This around.
Okay. All right, so now, running low on time, chat and Genevieve. I don't mean in the session, I mean in the game. As the sun, again, the light of the bauble is fading. A huge crack of thunder splits the air. And for a moment, you hear this hissing coming from elsewhere in the barrow, pretty much where you left it behind. You don't know what that means, but you don't hear it coming any closer. Whether that means that you have an opportunity is uncertain, but it does not, on its turn, move any closer to you. At least you don't see it.
So it's my turn again, yeah?
Yes, it is your turn again.
Then I'm going to move back where I was. Do I see it?
Combat moves very fast when there's two people fighting it, basically. Okay, yes, you can see it, and you see that its head is sort of swirling around as if it was, again, distracted by this crash of thunder.
Okay. Now, dear chat.
And you have, incidentally, you have inspiration on this already because of the crack of thunder, yes.
Oh, you didn't mention that, but never mind.
Yeah, this has happened one other time in the fight. It happened the first time when we were going the other way with the sun. Now we're going back, and so you've had this moment again. Yeah.
Okay. I'm using this inspiration for shooting at a biscuit.
Okay.
Oh, I needed that.
Woo!
That's an
You
18.
sure did. That will hit. Yes.
5 points.
Okay.
Come on,
It
Gregory.
is now.
That's it, right?
It is not quite destroyed, but it looks incredibly hurt now. Just hissing, like ichor coming out of everywhere. It's just bad scenario for it.
Bad scenario.
Bad scenario. Okay, so you moved up to it. Are you going to stay where you are or move
Yeah,
out?
I don't have any movement left.
Okay, that's right, because you moved up there, right? All right. So now we're up to round.
I swear, if you kill me, like when it just has 1 hit point left, I'm gonna kill you.
Now a mighty thunderstorm. The thunder again. The rain starts to pour down, flowing in on you from the barrow, from the outside of the barrow, and you can see now, in addition to the previous water, like the floor is just slick and messy. We'll talk about what the impact of that might theoretically be. This thing is now going to try to act, but as it moves towards you, it is dealing with difficult terrain. So it can't quite get to you because of this rain. So it is your turn, and you can see that it's moving towards you. This wall is not going to hold, though. Like it's definitely not. You are out of inspirations now from those.
I need it.
All right, chat. What do you think? There is one remaining Arvanaut inspiration point. If anyone has 50,000 channel points, there is one remaining one of those to use for this month. Prince Justin used one already. Or you could do the more traditional one, which is to support the Patreon or sub to the channel at a level. You can do it. Can you do it again? Do it again. I guess I'll allow that. Normally I wouldn't, like at the same time, but sure. Sure, Prince Justin, you could do it again. I will allow that in this case. So Prince Justin's going to redeem that one. So all the channel point ones are used up for this month. July 1st, we used them all up. If I&B gets mad, or Expedition. All right, thank you, Prince Justin. You have been inspired again, Genevieve.
Okay, I'm using that to shoot with the face. 16.
16 will hit.
I swear to God, Greg. 4. That has to be enough.
So you strike it out. If you had hit 1, I would have been like, okay, so so it kind of rears up, and its mouth opens wide, and you fire at literally as it's almost as if the light from the bauble is trailing behind the arrow, as the bauble's light fades completely, and the arrow shoots up into the massive creature's mouth. And it slides to the ground, and you can see blood bubbling from it. And the creatures above you, the ones that came, Kinnefrith and the rest of them, are all looking down, and Kinnefrith says, "You won't be able to regenerate that. How's it feel to die without the sun?" And you realize that you have killed this thing just before, and I'm literally saying just before. You can look at the map for yourself. Just before this thing would have hit sundown, at which point it would have been restored with what I find very funny, by the way, snake fat healing. But it is not snake fat healed. And as the thunder rains down, the creature's great body lies before you.
Pippa tosses her bow away, grabs her sword, and calls for everybody, "Help, help, help!" and runs to the creature to cut it open to get Mundir out.
Yes, and slicing open its body, you can see that Mundir, covered in sort of filth and just all this sort of goo, and looking much the worse for wear, but not dead. Mundir sort of pulls himself out. Galib, of course, embraces him. And there is a moment where your followers, looking exhausted, spent, injured, the whole bit, come down with Kinnefrith and the rest of them on the body of this thing. I agree, by the way, Prince Justin. It cost you 100,000 channel points, but you did help Tari this session. There's no question about that. I think Tari would agree.
Thank you. You are the MVP. Like, I would have not survived without your help, Justin.
And as the creature is there, suddenly the thunderstorm abates and the rain stops, like very suddenly. And as you all sort of are standing looking at it, you suddenly feel, I think, a presence from above you, probably. And standing right next to the mound, Genevieve, are the three sisters, the witches. Megden says, "That's wonderful! That's wonderful! You beat it, and you used my crystal ball. Oh, I guess you used it up, though, didn't you? But that's okay. Wow, there are a lot of rocks. Maybe I can make something with it." And Megden is off, like, again, sort of wandering off. Modor says, "We are grateful that you have done what you must. You have destroyed what must be, and you have brought us to some new way of the passage of time." Megden, by the way, who was the one that was sort of unsure about killing the snake in the first place, does not seem to have these concerns at the moment. But Modor, of course, is practical. And then, of course, there is Widway. And Widway says, "Well, even though you weren't able to defeat a simple bandit, it seems like you did what you must against this big snake. I wonder what is inside." Now, it's already kind of cut open, that you've done. But she goes over and reaches out a bony hand, and immediately the flesh. And I want everyone to think about, if you've ever played Skyrim, what happens after you defeat a dragon. Just the flesh withers away, revealing its bones. And it's just open. You see this dead skeleton.
Reduced to atoms.
And the bones remain. The skeleton of the thing, to the extent that it has one, remains. Modor then approaches, and she shifts her sleeping babe from one hip to the other and reaches into the broken open cavity of the adder's skull. And within it, she raises up a hand, and you see something undulating on her palm, Genevieve. And then you realize that you are looking at a tiny baby snake.
Ooh.
And she coils it up and puts it in a pouch at her belt. Megden, who has now discovered the rocks and so forth and has built up a couple, says, "Can I have my ball back? My crystal ball? I know it's dim, but it's okay. It'll get bright again. Can I have it back, please?"
Yeah, I left it over there. I think it's like, okay, if I'm completely covered in like dust and blood and giblets and whatnot, like shuffles off to retrieve the crystal ball where she used it.
And so she kind of takes it from me and says, "Oh, it's kind of dirty, but well, that's okay. I'll clean it." And she puts it away, sort of like looking at it. And then Modor says, "You will be free to go. But before you do, your bravery deserves one other thing from us." And she reaches down into the rubble around the bones of the snake. And she pulls forth an ancient stringless bow. And the bow has runes you can see that are carved all around on the outside. And you can see that even though it must have been buried here for a long period of time, it looks ancient. But it also looks very, very functional once you get it strung. So you need it. This obviously needs a craftsperson to kind of put it together. But she hands it to you and says, "This is something worthy of your talents, I think." And Widway says, "Yes, something which is worthy of your talents. I name it Adder Tongue." And she looks at it, and you think maybe it's just a trick of the light, Genevieve, of the fading light, but you think you see the runes glow a little bit when she says that name. If you can get this fixed by a craftsperson, which we can talk about during the next adventure, this is a +2 bow, +2 weapon.
Like what kind of bow? Like a hunting bow? Or
it's a longbow.
Longbow.
I think it's basically no. A hunting bow is what you've been using, right? It's a hunting bow. It's a +2 hunting bow.
So, not to be again that person, but bows are usually unstrung, and you string them right before you use them. So Genevieve knows how to string a bow.
Yeah, but but this is pretty stiff. I mean, you'll see, like the draw weight and so on. Like you this may need some professional looking at. I mean, you know, I'm sure you know how to string a bow. I'm not sure that she's done much in crafting bows. Maybe so.
I know how to string a bow. Like me.
You personally, yeah, I know, but no, you can't have player knowledge.
How do you know that?
So have I, but you can't let player knowledge and character knowledge come into play.
Not difficult.
So they look at you, and they say, "But your ship awaits, and we must have this land returned to the way it was." And Kinnefrith sort of looks at you and says, "You ought to go. This isn't the land for you. Not anymore, anyway." And the farmer, Elston, and Baba, his wife, and the children all sort of nod solemnly as they look at you.
Is it all right if I take a bath before I leave?
And
she looks down at her.
You get
and then looks at Mundia.
You
and
get
everybody.
Yeah, exactly. You think you'll get the chance to be able to do that certainly by the coast.
Well, was thinking going by the river.
Mm-hmm. You could do that.
Yeah.
You can do that. After your bath, when you return to the ship, you see that the mist has lifted, and you can now see the open ocean laid out before you. But also, when you reach the ship, you find your crew is in a state of some excitement. And they show you that after the huge thunderstorm that was just going on during your battle with the adder, there was a carved ivory chest that was revealed on the beach when the sand was washed away. And it was full of gold and silver and copper ingots. And you'll be happy to know that it is worth 3 times more than you would normally need to pay your followers and upkeep the ship.
Nice. So I get how much?
So you would get whatever the thing would normally cost, which I think we figured out last time. How much you normally get. How much we need to figure out how much you have to pay your followers.
We haven't figured that out at all.
We keep forgetting.
We've never gotten this.
Okay, so let's remember that for next time, that we need to figure out how to pay the followers.
How many pounds in silver is
what I'm saying is this is what I'm saying. It's literally keyed to how much you would have had to pay the followers. In fact, the exact term is it is uncannily worth, as if as if there's a reason it was just revealed now.
Okay.
And when the ship finally departs, and you are making your way back towards home in the open ocean, when you look back over your shoulder, you think there is a moment where you can see the 3 witches, Widway and Modor and Megan, silently watching you. And Megan may raise a hand, and then the mist rolls in over the land. And for a very slight spoiler chat, having sailed away, Genevieve would never find this strange land again. But what happens next, we shall see in the next adventure.
Sad, because he did say he wanted to come back to the farm to see how it's gotten better.
Yep. But
nice.
Success. Good work on this one. Success. And yes, you're right. The Incredible Hulk end credits. I can see the Ravenloft demi-plane of Dread. Yes. The whole thing felt like that even from the beginning, it seems to me. But it's really in that area.
Like Beowulf is based on other stuff. Let's not forget about that. There's very little original stuff in Official D&D.
That's very true. Oh, also, one important note as well is you are now officially level 5. So you've reached level 5. You have this this bow adder tongue to deal with, and I will now reveal what I told Tari that I would wait to reveal until now, and that is that the next and the second to last adventure that you are going to be doing is called the Elf Shot.
The elf shot.
The elf shot. And I'm here to tell you that it does not, the one bit of information I'll give you is that it does not have to do with serpents this time. You'd be amazed how many times they're like, how about a big sea serpent? Another, I'm like, no more, no sea serpent. We had a lot of sea serpent. We're good on the sea serpent. But yeah, so this is basically it. You got this deal. You got that picture, right? That's,
I
see?
see.
So.
Very nice.
Yeah. Good work, Tari. That was fun. And congratulations to Prince Justin as well on the very good use of inspirations at the time that we needed them.
So. Would be dead otherwise. This would have been a massive failure without it.
Yep. But also
when you mentioned the runes on the bow, because like on historical artifacts we have that do have rune inscriptions on them. Yeah. The runes should say the name of the object. Like we have combs that have the word comb written on it.
So it just says bow. It just says bow. Great.
Well, it's like usually either has like the name of the object or what we assume to be the name of the owner or the person who made it written on it. Yes.
So then it says Snake's bow because this whole thing is Metal Gear apparently. It just says adder. But no, adder tongued. It would be interesting. Actually, it would be interesting to see if the runes flared. If when Widway does that whole business, if that also maybe altered literally the runes themselves, like if the runes changed to reflect, like that would be pretty cool if that ended up happening. But yeah, this very dreamlike world. And again, only possible, I want to say, you did not have the spear because you did not succeed in that. But the bauble, you needed the bauble. Like you needed whatever this was, 13 rounds. You had like 14 rounds to defeat it with this and the bauble together. And you needed all 14 of them because the next round was going to be the last round and then it's theoretically possible to defeat the adder after sundown, but it starts recovering a bunch of health every round. So it's like, I don't think you were damaging it enough, especially with all your followers spent. I guess you could have run it around and try to like crumble walls on top of it again, but like it would have been a real problem. So there was that. And then also the fact that you got to the lair in the first place as early as you did, that was a consequence of having succeeded with Modor's quest. And that's what let you basically plan out this thing so that it didn't come on you unawares. And that meant that you knocked down 2 walls, which collectively did like 50 or 60 damage just like from the walls that crumbled. So honestly, like your management of the adventure ended up being what made it possible for you to get into a position where you could deal with it. So that was good.
Can if I could read these runes, because her language does use runes.
Is what? Say again. Is what? Her language is what?
Does use runes. Elder Futhark specifically.
All right, I'll give you. Can you make a? I think in Beowulf it's still history. Can you make a history check for me, and I'll let you do it at advantage. Serpent was tough, yeah.
No, it's legend, not history. I'm pretty sure that they replaced history with legend.
So make it legends, yeah. So that's fine.
Yeah. That's a 19.
I think you would be able to read that it would say essentially. No, it doesn't say that actually. It says. So what it literally says is tongue of the snake, and the tongue of the snake clearly is written in runes that look to be newer than what you would have expected the barrow to be in, which is what lends credence to the idea that I mentioned that maybe literally Widway just changed the runes that were on the bow. So she said adder-tongued and then named it the tongue of the snake is what the runes say. So, yeah. But good work, Terry. How did you, you did it? You made it? and
Did it?
you got to level 5 despite everything and all your followers being spent and one of them being swallowed and all that kind of stuff. And you did also good. I should say also good job on tactical retreat and movement. Like you moved around well in the way that we were talking about with kiting, which was very important against these things. So, how did you feel about today's session? Where will the lovely folks see you next?
Well, this was very intense. Really kept me up until the end if I was going to live. I did not want to roll up yet another character.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Campaign. So yeah, very glad everybody survived. I hope it stays that way. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to where the next adventure takes us, and I hope it's going to be less combat heavy. Would be nice.
It may be. It'll definitely be less serpent heavy. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
And where will the fine folks see you as well?
One of the following Tuesdays. I don't know what the plan is. Ask Trippet.
Ask Trippet. It's actually, next Tuesday, I believe we're on for Gamebook Illustration, I believe is what we have next. And then the week after that is 20, episode 20 of this, as we move into the next to last of the adventures that we're doing, which will be called the Elf Shot.
Though, fair warning, for the Gamebook streams, I do have to be upstairs at my PC. So if it's going to be above 30 degrees again, I'm not going to be...
I hear you. Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I hear you. So partly dependent on weather. Yeah.
Yes. Whether or not we're going to stream. Besides that, people can find me on the internet, on Tumblr, on Kara.app, and on Blue Sky at TariToons. And also I have shop on Gumroad, also under the name TariToons. And also commissions are open. Fully open now, like not just heraldry stuff, so I do also do heraldry. For more info, like you can find all of the necessary info on my website, taritoons.de, pardon me. Hit me up.
Yep. And I'm putting up a couple of the new emotes that Tari has just provided the channel. Look at all that. Arvany Rise.
The new emotes came on.
Arvany Smile. Oh man, the people have been loving the
great
stuff. Arvany Sports.
So how did the reveal go anyway?
Yeah. Oh, it was great. They because once they were looking at it, they're like, that's adorable, that's amazing. Prince Justin has got loves the Arvany writing that just got put up there too.
I've been using that one too, actually.
Yeah, these are great. Chat was very pleased, and I was like, see, that's the kind of like extra value you get here for these. And so yeah,
so weird that there is no standard emoji for like taking notes. Like you can like do the notepad emoji and the writing emoji, but like that doesn't really convey the same meaning as writing down notes, right?
Exactly.
So now we have that.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. And Dragonspear, of course, is predicted that well, he's going to get, because he has access to, I think he has access to everything but Arvany Smart, which I think is the highest level of bits. I think he has the other stuff, including Arvany Sick as well. So he has most of those available, but others are kind of making their way up there in terms of like bits and amount cheered, and then like obviously the tiers they support. So yeah, it's going to be great. And Tari and I have some other potential creative / drawing plans that we will talk about at some point in the future when we have
at some point
discuss. At some point we will discuss.
People check out my internet stuff.
And you saw that link that we just put in chat for Tari stuff?
I don't see stuff because currently I only have one screen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so Prince Justin put up the links to your Gumroad, etc. So.
Thank you.
So.
But yeah, usually I have like 2 massive 4K screens where I can fit in everything nicely. Now I just have a tiny laptop screen to work with. So.
But at least you stayed
way
cool.
less information.
Relatively.
Yes,
so.
I am very cool. So thanks for having me. Thanks for this adventure. Thanks for not killing off another character.
It was all you, all you and Prince
I
Justin.
killed my last player character.
But thank you, Tari. Good stuff today,
Okay.
and I'm looking forward to next week. Hopefully, if the weather cooperates.
Yeah.
So, chat, can we get some love for TariToons? Good stuff today, Tari. And 2 weeks from
Thanks for
now,
having me.
the return of Beowulf.
Okay.
Bye for now.
So.
Alrighty. Good stuff. That was fun, and we got through that. I knew it was going to take the whole fight, the whole session, I should say. I knew that was going to happen, but it was definitely going to be not easy because it is a boss fight, and literally a monster fight, which she had to defeat and was able to do because of things like the bauble. And getting there in the first place and all that kind of good stuff. So it was good. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. So as we move up here, let me just check something quickly. Okay, good. Right. So just making sure that I have all that set. Good. All right. Just before we head over to before I sign off to get ready for my GOG stream. I'll be up at 4 p.m. Eastern today, working more on Expeditions Rome as Pen and Pixels moves on. Really having fun with Expeditions Rome, and I've made good progress, very good progress in that game. But before I get there, I do want to talk briefly about the calendar for July, because I like to do that at the beginning of these things. And so here we go. Here's that. Right. So here's what we've got going on this month. So the first one you've already done, and that is Beowulf Age of Heroes, as we wrapped up The Witches and the Wyrm with day 19 today. Day 20 will be in 2 weeks if all goes well. Again, I'm going to be over at GOG.com at the top of the hour, about a half hour from now, with Pen and Pixels playing Expeditions Rome. On Thursday, we have Blueprints happening on the evening as we continue with this super cool game. As you can see, I now have a new blue hat to go along with Blueprints. So very, very appropriate, I think. Saturday the 5th. Which is, of course, the day after July 4th in the States. I don't know that anyone is feeling particularly, let's go like rah-rah America at the moment, given the horrific situation politically here. But at the very least, we can be together celebrating ourselves in community, which I think is important to do. And that is happening on Saturday, July 5th. We're going to be doing some more D&D with viewers, Legacy of the Green Flame. So we will continue to play through that. That should be a lot of fun. Next Tuesday, we have, again, if all goes well, the Fighting Fantasy Gamebook stream with Tari. I'm hoping that it does. If it doesn't, then we will play some more of Blueprints next Tuesday at noon Eastern. At 4 p.m. Eastern, we will have Pen and Pixels again over on GOG.com playing more Expeditions Rome. At the moment, our vocalists are scheduled tentatively for next Tuesday, but that could easily slip to the 15th or the 22nd. So our vocalist is up in the air. It's going to happen this month rather, but I don't know whether it's going to be the 8th, the 15th, or the 22nd. So stay tuned for that. Wednesday the 9th will be Community D&D with the Shadow Crew as Waterdeep Dragon Heist continues. Thursday the 10th will be more Blueprints. That'll be a common theme on Thursdays this month. Saturday the 12th will be D&D with Infinity and Beyond. That will be the D&D with Infinity and Beyond will be the final tribute as we continue with the final season of D&D with IMB Eberron. So the final season of Oracle of War is continuing on Saturday the 12th. Tuesday the 15th, and in fact, I have to make an adjustment on one thing here. Let's see. Adjust. No, Saturday. All right, I have to make a little note to myself, which I just did. Question mark. All right. So that is the 12th. On Tuesday the 15th, 2 weeks from today, we have more Beowulf Age of Heroes as we begin the Elf Shot, which is the second to last Beowulf adventure with TariToons. And then again, 4 p.m. Eastern, over on GOG.com, Pen and Pixels, Expeditions Rome. Thursday the 17th, Blueprints, very standard. Saturday the 19th, currently it says on the calendar Blueprints, but I have to make an adjustment in that because I'm going to be at ReaderCon And I've got a number of panels there, and I've got a reading at ReaderCon. If anyone is in the Burlington, Massachusetts area, I highly recommend that you come to that con. It's a really good one that I've enjoyed going to quite a bit, and so I'm looking forward to it. I will be on panels and doing readings and stuff at ReaderCon, but it means that Saturday's stream is up in the air. We may do it. It's possible. I would say that it's 50-50. Little Arv is going to be with me, so it kind of depends on how tired she is and how I'm feeling and so on Saturday the 19th. So maybe, but not certain about Saturday the 19th. That is tentative. Then Tuesday the 22nd, 3 weeks from today, will be more blueprints. It'll also be the final vote for the Patreon Field Chat Chosen Game of the Month in 3 weeks. And then that'll be at 10:30 a.m., by the way, on Tuesday the 22nd. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern will be Pen and Pixels, GOG.com, playing by the dice roll as we get back into some more Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Weren't able to do it last month because of some, in June, because of some player conflicts with scheduling and stuff and real life stuff. So that hopefully now is cleared up. So we'll be able to do that for you on Tuesday the 22nd. I'm looking forward to that. Wednesday the 23rd, more community D&D Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Thursday the 24th, stop me if you've heard this before, more blueprints, excited for that. And then Saturday the 26th will be our Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks stream. I'm looking forward to that as well. And then Tuesday the 29th will be the Patreon Fueled Chat Chosen Game of the Month. There will not be a GOG stream on that day, because after I finish the Patreon Field Chat Chosen Game of the Month, I will then be getting ready to and heading out for Gen Con, because I will be at Gen Con the last week of July, going into the first week of August. Then I will be heading home after that for about a week, just under a week, and then we'll be heading out to Worldcon in Seattle, where I know some of you, I will see you there, either at Gen Con or at Worldcon Seattle. We'll be there for about 2 weeks out in Seattle. Streams are going to be up in the air there. It's going to depend on internet access and stuff like that, although I can definitely say that we will have our Gray Shade debut streaming on Friday of Friday, August 1st. That's Gen Con. But we will definitely have some stuff streaming while we're out there. I just don't know when, because it depends on internet setup. So that's all going to be up in the air. Then I will come back in the third week of August, roughly, third and a half week, I guess, and we'll be able to get some streams back in. We'll ease into those, and then as we move into September, as the fall begins, we will settle down into our pattern. I do want to remind everybody that in September, we have our third annual Arvathon, which is our subathon event, where we build up subs and Patreons and all that good stuff, and hopefully we'll have a lot of other information to convey to you at that time as well. So Thursday the 31st, there will be no stream because I will be at Gen Con. Friday, August 1st, will be the Gray Shade TTRPG with Writer Symposium members, including myself and Richard Lee Byers and Toya Kristen Finley and Karen Bovenmeyer, and also with Brandon O'Brien GMing the game that he designed. So I'm very excited for that. And then Saturday the 2nd will be no stream, again, because I will be at Gen Con. There may be an impromptu stream during the day, but I'm going to be very busy there. I have a read and critique. I have something like 4 different panels. I have a workshop. I have a coffee clutch with Richard Lee Byers, and I have a signing with Tim Wagoner. And so plus a workshop that I'm running. So I got a lot going on, and the Gray Shade thing. So I got a lot of stuff going on at Gen Con. So I can't promise that there will be a stream, but maybe I might do something on the way back. We'll have to see. But regardless, as I mentioned to you all, the next few weeks, with the exception of that one day, Saturday the 19th, should be pretty standard with streams. But then once we get to Tuesday the 29th, the evening of Tuesday the 29th on, it's going to be very kind of busy and somewhat disjointed schedule-wise for a few weeks as we're traveling and doing all that kind of good stuff. But that is a few weeks away. Right now, we've just entered July. So I'm going to rise up on out of here and get over to GOG.com so I can set up and be ready for Expeditions Rome, where I hope I will see many of you there. If you liked and saw what you heard today, I hope you will follow the channel. I hope you will check out our YouTube at !ArvTube. Thanks to everyone who watched us over there today. Please sub over there. It is free for you to do that, but really helps us out. Discord is !ArvCord. Awesome. So am I imaginary. That's awesome. Discord is !ArvCord. Twitter !ArvTweets. Blue Sky !ArvSky. Again, I am up to now, I've gotten a lot of followers lately on Blue Sky, which is great. I am less than 70 followers away now from that 1,000 follower mark, at which point, once I hit 1,000 followers on Blue Sky, I'm shutting down my Twitter, I'm locking it, and then it'll just be Blue Sky doing the whole microblogging thing. So please follow me there. And check out Gen GMs. The last long form video we did had an error where we only posted about half of it by accident, but we have now reposted it, the full long version. So it is now ready to go. And so please do check that out with exclamation point Gen GMs. We are up to 97 subscribers. We only need 3 more to get to that 100 subscriber mark on Gen GMs, which is a big step for us with that show, the DM and GM tip show that Zach Clay and I do. So please consider supporting us there as well. Again, website arvanellarun.com. Financially, exclamation point ARV shop is the merchandise area. Exclamation point ARV Treon is that Patreon. We're really trying to build that back up into triple digits. That's what allows those inspirations to be used. That's also what allowed me to pay TariToons for the emotes that she made up, all of those Fifi emotes that we love, and all that kind of good stuff. So it really makes it possible for us to do that if you're able to support us there. So please support us there. And again, you can get cool stuff for yourself as well, also by subscribing to the channel, which is also a good thing and very helpful. And you get those custom sub badges and emotes that I was showing off before too. On the publishing front, exclamation point Icarus, my graphic novel from Athos Arts. Exclamation point Library is my Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And exclamation point Greyshade, which is my Greyshade IP. That's Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic. Those 3 books are available there at that link. I am happy to report, for those of you who missed it, that I got my royalty check for this last quarter, and all of those books now, Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic, and of course Icarus before it, they have now all earned out. They have all earned out their advance, so now I am getting royalty payments, which is great for everybody. It's great for the publisher. It's great for me. So I'm very happy that I now have 4 separate books, actually counting Tales and Tomes from Alligator Alley, 5 books which have earned out. So that's great. So thank you for all of those who have bought them. And be aware that audiobooks are part of that too. And if you want an audiobook of any of those, there is an audiobook of Greyshade available from Trend Sparks right now. But you can also get audiobooks. Thank you, Prince Justin Drivet. Renegade and Heretic, you can get those audiobooks. You can pre-order, get ready for those. I don't think there's a pre-order now. There might be actually soon. But anyway, audiobooks are going to be out in the fall for Renegade and Heretic. So you can check that out. If you go to that Greyshade link, you can go over and check that out as well. And we'll be able to start taking pre-orders on that soon. Those 2 audiobooks will be also narrated by Trend Sparks, who already narrated exceptionally well the first one, Greyshade, in that series. So please do that. That would be lovely. And otherwise, as always, exclamation point BLM. Oh, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention, the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade. You can pre-order that now. That's coming from Alligator Alley, designed by Brandon O'Brien. And as I said, you will see a debut stream of that on Friday, August 1st at Gen Con. But I would love for everybody to be able to pre-order it beforehand. That would be great. If you are into Blades in the Dark and you're into 5e, or you're into Blades in the Dark with 5e, let me recommend that you check this out, because there's some pretty awesome elements that Brandon has put in there, which I think are awesome, and I'm very pleased that they are a part of my work. And my oeuvre, if that's a term. Otherwise, though, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help, and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And we send the message, we'll do so for others in that situation in the future. That is going to do it for me. I'm going to go head over to GOG.com and get set up now, but I will be up there in about 20 to 25 minutes or so with some Pen and Pixels and some Expeditions Rome. Otherwise, thank you so much to everyone who made this a great stream tonight. I know there were more people here before, but thank you to Prince Justin and Triffity Mats for being awesome mods as always. Thank you to Prince Justin, Triffity Mats, and again, thanks Prince Justin for the awesome inspirations too. Prince Justin, Triffity Mats, Dragon Spear, who was lurking in the background, Imaginary Exponent, Jagtress, Mr. Jonas, Nonstop, and TNS Mephiston. Thank you so much to all of you lovely folks for being here, and everyone who was here before. And I will see you over in GOG.com in just a little bit for Pen and Pixels and Expeditions Rome. Until then, special thanks today, by the way, to TariToons for her work as a player. And I will see you folks, as I say, very soon over on GOG.com. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other and have a good afternoon. Then on the strand, with steeds and treasure, and armor their roomy and ring-dight ship was heavily laden. High its mast rose over Hrothgar's hoarded gems. A sword to the boat guard Beowulf gave, mounted with gold. On the mead bench, since he was better esteemed, that blade possessing heirloom old. Their ocean keel boarding, they drove through the deep, and Daneland left. A sea-cloth was set, a sail with ropes firm to the mast, the flood timbers moaned. Nor did wind over billows that wave swimmer blow across from her course. The craft sped on, foam-necked it floated forth o'er the waves, keel firm bound over briny currents, till they got them sight of the Geatish cliffs, home-known headlands. High the boat, stirred by winds, on the strand updrove. Helpful at haven the harbor guard stood, who long already for loved companions by the water had waited and watched afar.